Wrong one. I'm messing up this morning. All right, boys and girls, welcome aboard for a special Hall of Fame preview edition of NFL Pregame Party. All right, boys and girls, welcome aboard. It is time for NFL Pregame Party, a special Hall of Fame edition of NFL Pregame Party. I'm your host, Joe's Atmosphere, and as usual, I've got a very nice panel of fellas to discuss things with this fine Sunday morning. Of course, we've got Knock, my regular co-host that I've been with since the beginning of the show. How you doing this morning, man?
I'm here. Yeah, been gearing for a couple hours now, ready to go, and been way too excited to be here.
Crack it on.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that. That's great. You're pretty good at playing possum, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we've got the best backup in the league, Matt from Small Time Republic. How you doing, brother?
Doing good.
All right, man. It's good to see you. Check it out. He's sporting the Auburn. The War Eagle. He's all about it, man. Look out. And then we have a new addition to the bunch. He was actually our on-the-ground correspondent during the draft, Mr. Das Wolfen. How you doing this morning, John?
I'm doing good.
Good to see you. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I live for this year-round. It is time for some football. I am looking forward to it. Where shall we start? Knock, are you ready to go this morning, or do you need time to get your stuff together?
I found something pretty quickly here. I thought that it's a little recap of each team.
Okay. Well, boys and girls, listen. This is what we're going to do. We're going to let Knock kick it off with the off-season news. And we're going to do that. And then I'm going to highlight the Hall of Fame inductees, the class of 2023 this year. And then we're going to talk about what we think, our thoughts on what's going to happen this season upcoming. So let's start with Knox breakdown of what happened in the offseason for all these teams.
Okay, so let's start with the AFC North, they went with the Bengals first. And it looked like their biggest signing so far was what's been the biggest issue for the Bengals, right? The offensive line,
right?
And so they went and got Orlando Brown, coming off the
old man, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Going to protect the blind side for Mr. Burrow, who, in fact, it's not like this article is like a week old. Joe Burrow had a little trouble got carted off the field.
Cough season, calf injury, right? Wasn't that one of those?
I think it was like a high ankle sprain last time I saw, but it could be.
Wow.
But so that's going to be interesting to see how he's definitely going to be protected this year. So he's already starting out hurt, and a lot of players are. So, but if he's healthy, they'll be right back in it. Here's the Browns.
Do we really need to talk about this franchise?
Yeah, just kind of.
They're there.
They're there.
They exist.
They exist. They make bad decisions still to this day.
Yeah, I don't see what else we're going to get with them. I saw a little bit of the practice yesterday for the Ravens. You got Odell Beckham Jr. joining them, and Jackson got his deal, so he's happy. So
that was one of the big stories in the offseason. He was his own agent. A lot of people thought to his own detriment, but he ended up getting what he wanted. So you can't really the results, proof's in the pudding, right? I mean,
So I'm sure this will be a great 10 weeks of football from them, and then nothing going on in the postseason. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome for the very, very excited for the first 10 weeks for this team. So it's gonna be great. By that time, both Odell and him will be out by the end of the season.
Right,
so.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's great. Steelers. This will be. I think this will be definitely a prove it year for Kenny Pickett.
I'm going to laugh if they win the division. I am going to laugh my ass off. I really
Depending on what happens with the Bengals, there's a chance.
I mean, depending on what happens with Burrow, with him injured already. I mean, yeah. It's going to be. I think it's going to be them or because they're one of those franchises that know how to get it done. And they, last year, anytime you lose a franchise quarterback like a Roethlisberger, you're going to have a down season. I mean, not every team has the luxury the Packers have had over the last 3 decades of having, 2 Hall of Famers back to back, or like the Niners when they had Montana and Young. That's not what happens, with most franchises. And they were due for a down year, but they're going to be coming back up. It's not going to be long for them, no doubt.
Yeah. All right, so let's get over to the AFC South. This is going to be an interesting one. I just saw the other day that Jonathan Taylor wants to leave the Colts. But they got their new quarterback.
Who'd they get?
Richardson.
That's right. The kid from Florida, right?
Yeah.
High risk, high reward.
Yeah, high risk, high reward. And who took over as head coach there? Do we know?
One of the Philly guys? I can't remember.
Yeah, one of the Philly guys.
Serrano, or
it might have been the offensive coordinator, because I know the defensive coordinator went to Arizona. That was the job nobody wanted. Yeah, that's it.
By the way, I just see a video of Kyler Murray walking onto the field. So he tore himself away.
He's not playing video games. What?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I said he was actually walking around.
But Taylor wanting out, that sucks for them. My God, he's been a force the last couple of years.
Man. Yeah, apparently that was after he met with Jim Irsay. So that might be interesting.
Yeah,
that the owner then wanted to leave. So that's interesting one there.
Jim Irsay, that
idiot.
What a loon.
He is a complete loon.
I actually had to go back the other day and rewatch, because I was actually out for my company's winter party when Jacksonville came back against the Chargers.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to watch it live. It was showing up at the bar, but I was too busy drinking to pay attention to it. Yeah, who knows what's going to happen with the Jags? They did get Evan Ingram. He's a really good tight end.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Yes.
Look at this name. They got a new running back. You got Travis Etienne, who I really like, but then they got this guy named Tank Bigsby. Like what a great name.
That's a running back name.
If he's a power back, that's a perfect name.
I think it'd be funny if he was a small dude, but
if he's a small scat back.
I mean, they're talking about someone better on the goal line, and if someone named Tank isn't good on the goal line, his name is false advertising.
So he played for Auburn, and he's pretty good. We actually ended up platooning running backs last year between him and a guy named Jarquez Hunter. So he's good. I don't think he can carry the load to be, I don't think he can go out there and get 25 carries every week or anything. So
it was like a little lightning and thunder. Who was the other guy in the duo for Chris Johnson? And Chris Johnson was lightning and the other guy was thunder.
With the Titans.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I just remember Chris Johnson was freakishly fast.
That's you had him, and then you had the big guy that was the boulder or the thunder.
But Chris Johnson was pretty strong for being a speedy back.
I think that was the first year he was there. He was tough. Yep, no doubt. Oh, speaking of freakishly fast, did you guys see that John Ross retired? I don't know if you guys know him.
Yeah.
I know him well from my Madden.
Yeah, we discussed that earlier this week.
Yeah.
I know him well because he used to torch me with him in Madden all the fucking time. That guy right there, Jesus Christ. Still has the fastest 40 time in history, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
4.22. Oof.
Ugh. All right, so moving on. Houston Texans. Be interesting to see how they do this year. They had a couple of top 3 picks. You know, they got the linebacker. They got they got C.J. Stroud at QB. You know, we'll see how they go.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys think they'll? How do you guys feel about putting the uncertain rookie in these days? Seems like Peyton Manning, they're not really given a lot of chances.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with how many starts they had in college. I think if somebody like a Trevor Lawrence, you throw him in right away. You throw him into the deep water quick because he started every down he played for Clemson. But, this guy, was he the starter the entire time he was at that school? I don't really know. I don't know much about college, but I do know one of my favorite coaches ever, Bill Parcells, he had an outline he wanted for everybody that he had on his roster. And the big thing with quarterbacks was how many starts they had in college. So I think that's the big consideration when it comes to these guys.
He played well against Georgia in the playoff.
Yeah. But my question is experience, how many starts did he have in college? So I would say if it's 20 or above, you'd probably be okay starting these guys out. But if it's less than 20, look at Ryan Tannehill. To this day, he's still a human's jugs machine when he gets pressured. So, and he quarterbacked 1 year, I think. It was like his senior year, something like that. So, that's what I think about that. But I have no problem doing it. But the thing I would consider is how many games did they start in college?
He was a 2-year starter, 25 games.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, start him up. I mean, they don't have anything. The kid that has been managing the ship for them is nothing special. So you're not losing anything.
Nope.
All you can do is fail upwards. You know what I mean? That's about it. I mean, you're not costing your team anything starting this guy.
I feel bad for Lovie Smith still. He was a sacrificial lamb.
Oh my God, yes. Wow, right? He's the fill in the gap guy these days.
He's never been given a good slate of talent.
No. I think he head coached the Bears to a Super Bowl with Rex Grossman at quarterback. It was all about the defense.
Yeah, that defense was great. Many turnovers. I remember that season.
Yeah.
All right. This is okay. Well, this is awkward.
Yeah, that's fine. But Tennessee, I wanted to talk about Tennessee for a second. They have a rookie running back that I saw some footage of. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but he looks like a child.
You're talking about the Cowboys. I think it's the Cowboys.
Is it the Cowboys? Is it that guy? Okay. I thought it was the Titans. Yeah. Okay. The Titans, we don't need to talk about the Titans anyway. Okay. Yeah, the biggest offseason move they made, they got the best wide receivers in football, but that's where it's been proven that, this is where old wide receivers go to die, is Tennessee, right?
Yep.
We've seen it over and over again. Moss went there, and Julio Jones, and I mean, they get rid of A.J. Brown, which I believe kind of pissed off our head coach there.
Yeah.
But you got him now with the Cowboys? Did you find it? Okay, hang on. Let me pop it back in there. Yeah, this guy is minuscule. He
5'5", 176.
Well, he's a tough little booger, man.
You'll never find him.
What is
You'll
that?
never find him in that crowd. Look at that shit, will you? That's crazy.
The padded helmet makes him look even smaller.
Smaller, man. Good Lord. This is nuts, dude. Get it out to that kid.
Looks like
he's just so tiny.
It's like he just came up to middle school.
Right?
squad. What the hell?
Yeah, you know those stories of guys that are like 20s and then like they're trying to play in high school football. Like this is like the opposite of that, where it's like a high school kid that
Ariel Ballet says, "Boo, football." Hey,
well, you're not in the right place today. Then
get over it. You're not going to like my channel come the fall. Then Ariel, it's all about football. Yeah.
As soon as a linebacker gets a hold of him, he's going to get squashed.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Oof.
Well, he didn't.
But we've seen guys like Darren Sproles really not get nicked up that much.
Well, and they went to the same school.
Yeah, did they?
Yep.
Really? Well, I tell you what, man, it's I'll never forget when he went to the Saints. Right, when Darren Sproles went to the Saints, they were interviewing Phillip Rivers that season before the season started, and they said, "What's the biggest difference in this team this year?" He didn't even bat an eye. He said, "I'm not going to have Darren Sproles."
Yeah,
that's the first thing he said.
Yeah, it's like
he didn't like that.
Every team that let him go, their players are like, "Damn, it sucks we don't have Darren Sproles."
Sucks we don't have Darren Sproles anymore, right?
One thing I'll say about Sproles that I think he had a little more weight on him than this guy.
Yeah. This guy looks a lean 5'5".
Yeah, you want to go short and trunky. You're looking at like Maurice Jones-Drew.
Yeah,
like that dude was.
But Tennessee, look, guys, this is the book on Tennessee as far as I'm concerned, and I love Vrabel. I think what he's doing there is fantastic. He's building a great defense there. They're going to give people headaches, but as long as Ryan Tannehill is his trigger man, they will go nowhere.
Well, yeah, also they already gave up on Malik Willis too.
They don't have the answer yet at that position.
I got a soft spot for Vrabel, so.
Yep, for sure. Vrabel's dude. I love him. I really do. Oh man.
With Tannehill, they'll like maybe get a wild card weekend, but not beyond that.
Yeah, not beyond that. Yeah. Ariel says soccer is true football. Well, yeah, worldwide it is, but in this country, as Jack Nicholson said in The Departed, in this country, the NFL is football. Sorry. Okay, go ahead, Knock. What you got next? We got Buffalo coming
Buffalo
soon.
Bills.
Did they do anything in the offseason? I mean, do they really need to do anything?
Not really. DeMar Hamlin came back. He's playing again. I think they lost one of their running backs for a while.
Yeah.
They maintained a lot of their players.
Yeah, they didn't do a whole lot.
Yeah.
I mean,
they lost in the snow, so I'm not sure what they needed to get done. So I guess better cleats. I don't know.
Who knows, man? What I mean, look, I hate to say it, man. They're going to be just like Carolina with Cam Newton. They're going to be in the mix every year, but and the thing that'll get him in the Super Bowl is if he has a remarkable game in the playoffs. But once they get there, they're going to get beat like a drum by whoever they face, man. Because I mean, he's just predictable. He is predictable. There's a way to defend him. It's been proven over and over again. So all you have to do is keep him in that pocket and not let him out, and eventually he's going to screw it up. So,
yeah.
What's next, buddy? Who's next?
The Dolphins.
Now, their off season, I don't think. Did they do anything in the off season?
Did they get Marcus Peters?
Yeah, they did.
And he's already hurt for the next.
Right, he's already hurt. Look, man,
this was the most accurate quarterback, according to Tyreek Hill and all the good stuff.
Oh yeah, they can talk it up all day long, but until he gets past 8 games in a season, I just can't. Yeah. And me, look, Foxy's a huge Dolphins fan, big time Dolphins fan, and I was just like, look, darling, until he proves he can last a season, you can't even consider that team. No. They're just not going to make it. They're in the same division with Buffalo,
and Buffalo
owns that division. So
who did they just lost one of their wide receivers too?
Really? Which one?
Not Tyreek Hill, unfortunately.
No, of course not.
Tyreek's just running it.
Not Waddle. Waddle's still there, right?
I hope not Waddle.
No, they've to injury.
Oh, okay. All right. Check out their injury report for us. But I mean, until I love Tua. Don't get me wrong. I love his mentality. He's a winner. He's a leader. The guys on the field love him. The team loves him. But until he proves that he's not made of glass, you can't even consider him, really. I mean,
yeah,
because he's not going to be available for half the damn season.
Jalen Ramsey. Well, that's the cornerback. Sorry.
Yeah, that's the cornerback.
Yeah. He
He
got injured. I heard about that. They would, yeah. And
yeah,
I thought it was Marcus Peters. I'm sorry, it was Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah,
also, the Dolphins training staff mismanaged Tua.
Yeah, they did.
Back too quickly.
Yeah, they did. And but let's hope he can bounce back from that. I would love to see him bounce back from this shit. I really would. Yeah. I think it would be awesome because I love the kid. I really do. He's a left-handed quarterback that throws with accuracy, and he's really talented. And they put the pieces around him, but I don't know what it is. Some guys, you remember Chris Chandler, guys, for the Atlanta Falcons? I don't think there was a better quarterback in the league, dude. The guy was awesome. He was accurate, but if you looked at him the wrong way, he was on the injury list.
Yeah.
He really was. And that was the book on him. All you have to do is just scare him, and he's going to the bench. It's a shame.
Some quarterbacks aren't tough enough
to
play in the
They're
league.
just brittle. And that's just all there is to it. Okay,
look, if it doesn't work out, they can always get his little brother that's coming out next year. So
is that right? He's got a brother that's coming out.
Yep,
I think he's in Maryland. Yeah.
Okay, Maryland Terp. He's a turtle.
I think he may be shorter than Tua.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so I see next on there's the New York Jets.
Yeah,
didn't they get a new quarterback?
I believe they got a new trigger man. They're going with the tried and true formula of getting an ex-Packers quarterback.
I haven't. Okay, spoilers, guys. I haven't watched Hard Knocks yet, so I don't know exactly what happened during the offseason for them. So,
are they on Hard Knocks? They're going to put Aaron Rodgers under the microscope before the season starts? Great.
Yeah, great. That's right.
Oh, man.
So this is going to be an interesting one. They're going to get I think they had one of the running backs hurt last year, didn't they? Like one of the rookies that they picked up. It was either them or Seattle. I think both of them happened.
Don't really know.
But
all I know is the Jets, they don't matter to me. They don't
I mean, if they lose, it's not because of the weapons they have.
No. They're just snake bit. They're like the Browns. They're just snake bit, man. Something's going to go wrong there. But I predict by halfway through the season, Aaron Rodgers is going to be at press conferences throwing people under the bus like he likes to do. So, yeah.
Well, and the Jets, they have Knox's favorite coach as their OC.
Oh yeah.
What?
Daniel Hatchett has gone.
Hackett is there?
Yeah, he went to
reunite
with.
That's right. That's a package deal, isn't it? Yeah, Aaron Rodgers and Daniel Hackett.
That's the reason why we tried to get. That's how we tried to get Rodgers to Denver, was to get Hatchett, and then it didn't happen. So,
man, hang on. We'll continue this discussion in just a second. Let me check in on Ariel real quick. She says the only thing that will let them in the Super Bowl is those damn wild cards. Hey, some teams do thrive in that spot. Just look at every time the New York Giants and Eli Manning have won the Super Bowl, they've done it from the wild card spot. So, and Ariel Ballet says, you all have favorite teams, but do you still watch football to enjoy the game? Yes, young lady, I watch any NFL game that comes on because I enjoy the game.
If it's on, I'm watching it.
That's it.
I watch the other leagues.
He watches everything. Knock watches it all. College, USFL, XFL.
Backyard football. If they
backyard football league, whatever it is.
My enjoyment level is higher if it's not one of my teams playing.
That's true.
Because you're not stressed, right?
You're not. You're just enjoying football.
There's a drama in every one of these games, man. There is a drama in every game. I mean, the last video I did on a game, remember last year, guys, when the decimated Rams signed Baker Mayfield on a Tuesday and he went out on a Thursday night and won a game for him?
Yeah.
I mean, it's that kind of thing that just makes me, this is why I watch football, to see shit like that, It was fucking awesome. Yeah. Yes. Everybody on this panel loves football, and we will watch any game that comes on, Ariel. But as far as Aaron Rodgers going to New York, I think they're selling their soul to the devil. I mean, dude, I had this discussion with somebody the other day. Aaron Rodgers has won one Super Bowl. Why did he win it? Because he had a good defense. The 1 year they had a defense that was top 5, they won the Super Bowl. Same thing with Drew Brees. I mean, they can score points all day. If the team they're on can't stop anybody, how many times have you seen your beloved Saints, Matt, lose 35-38 when Drew Brees was the quarterback? I mean, until they got a defense that could stop somebody, they didn't win. Yeah. So,
by the way, Sean Payton, speaking of the Saints, is not a fan of Nathaniel Hackett.
He shouldn't be. He took over a mess, I'm sure.
He said some pretty bold things. He sent, apologized.
Are you away from the mic? We can barely hear you, man.
Sorry. I moved it for a second. Okay. Yeah, he sent come back a little bit on that, but he said some stuff and
some derogatory things about Mr. Hackett.
Yeah, just about how much of a mess it was, and the worst coaching he's ever seen.
Did we make it to the toughest division in football yet? No, we
still got.
We're not there yet. We still got the New England Patriots to talk about. Well, they're going to be a factor. They're always going to be a factor.
I think they'll be 4th in that division.
Really, you think they're going to be 4th?
Is this Bill Belichick's last season?
No. He is not going to stop until he wins a Super Bowl without Brady.
Or
I guarantee you.
What is it going to be with New England?
He's not stopping until he dies.
I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. If is it last season with New England?
No,
that's what I mean.
No, Kraft will never fire him.
Nope,
never. No. He's going to be there. He's trying to be the modern day Don Shula. That's what he's doing.
He will never win another Super Bowl.
He will never win another Super Bowl, but he will be there trying to do it, and he won't do it for another team either. He's gonna keep trying to do it there because he wants to prove that he can do it without Brady.
Yeah,
especially since Brady went out and did it a year after he left him.
That had
you know what I mean? Yeah, that chapped his ass, Major League. Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, but then the year after that, he self-destructed. So
Yeah. That's for sure. Self-destructed in his personal life and everything, and you can't tell me that didn't affect his play on the football field.
Oh no,
you really can't. Yeah. So
based on the Facebook photos, he's not.
He's doing fine now. Yeah. Yeah. He.
Them damn models are. They're all over the place. That
guy is bachelor partying it up every night right now, dude.
But I think Belichick was good for Brady in the same way that you had like Customato and Tyson, and you've had different, It
was perfect synergy.
Yeah.
2 guys of the same mind on the same page. When you have that, when you have a Walsh in Montana, great things are going to happen. I mean, they're never out of it. They're always a threat.
Tiger Woods and his dad.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you can talk a lot about that. Red Auerbach and Bill Russell. I mean, the list goes on and on. When you get a coach that has a player that thinks exactly the same way they do, where they don't have to even talk about it, this is what happens. I mean, it's just and what's funny to me is I've got his picture up here on the wall. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks ever, and I've got his helmet signed over here. Drew Bledsoe. If he doesn't get knocked out in that second week against the Jets, we never know that guy's name. We never know his name. It's crazy what happens. It's nuts. I mean, there's so many things where one decision has changed the NFL landscape forever. For instance, what happens if Drew Brees, with his torn up shoulder, gets cleared by the Miami Dolphins to sign him? I can tell you one thing that doesn't happen. The Alabama dynasty never gets started. Yep. Tom Brady is going to the Super Bowl every other year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of every year.
Yeah.
That one decision changed the football landscape across the board. Yeah.
It allowed Phillip Rivers to have a Hall of Fame career.
Yes, it did. It absolutely did. Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. Okay. So who's next up, man?
AFC West.
Your beloved Denver Broncos. We didn't start with the world champs in the West. What's up with that, man?
I think they went in alphabetical order.
Yeah. Okay. Oh man.
So this was a fun offseason. We got last season it was the excitement because of Wilson, and then that flopped. And so this year it's the excitement.
It was just a bad pairing. You want to talk about non-synergy between
the coach this is the complete opposite. It was, and I saw a video again the other day, and it was the Thursday night Broncos and Colts game on Thursday night, and it was just people were leaving in the third quarter. Like, that's how bad the game. It was just a bad football game. Just not like two great defenses going at it. No, I mean both. The Broncos defense is good, but it wasn't a Steelers and Ravens old school football game with Ray Lewis and Troy Polamalu, and they're just flying all over the place and causing disruption. No, it wasn't like that at all. It was bad offenses going at it. And it just that, and it caused people to leave. So we're really hoping that Sean Payton turns things around, and that was one of the comments he made was just letting the players do whatever they want last year, and there was no structure.
Oh yeah, I mean there was news out of there that Wilson had his own office and
his own coach.
Wow, you can't be separated from the rest of the team like that, man. It's going to cause some animosity. I remember that film footage of one of his teammates just glaring him down on the sidelines last year after a bad play or something. And wow, whether you want to talk about instant animosity, there it is right there.
Whether it's real or not, Russell Wilson has always had at least the public reputation of not being one of the boys.
No.
And I don't know if
that's
warranted or not.
That's fine. That's fine. You can be somebody that's. I mean, we all know he's a devout Christian, and not. There's a lot of Christians in football. He could at least interact with the brotherhood of Christian athletes there and stuff. But he's always been aloof to his teammates, really. And that's, if you're playing dynamite, that's great. You can get away with that, but
winning cures everything. Yeah.
No, for sure. Yeah. Real quick before we continue, Ariel says, how many times have they sold their soul then? Well, the Jets have done it several times. They did with Brett Favre most recently at the end of his career.
So this means that Rodgers will replace Kirk Cousins next year.
Absolutely. He'll be in Minnesota replacing Kirk Cousins. Okay, back to the Broncos there, Big Daddy. I know you're excited about your new head coach, no doubt.
And it looks like Russell Wilson shed some pounds too. So it looks like he's
well,
he's a little quicker. He's a little quicker than might see.
He kind of needed to.
Might be some more running around and make some crazy good play. We got the receivers, man. We get Tim Patrick coming back. Yeah. We're keeping Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy. We got Javonte Williams coming back. He's healthy from his leg injury last year, and so it's. And the defenses every year has always been good. We brought Vance Joseph back, which is interesting. Head coach coming back as a coordinator a couple years down the road. So, and he's a great defensive coordinator. So it's
Vance Joseph is good. He's
I'm always going to want Wade Phillips to come back, but
of course,
he was that defense was
it was great. Yeah,
I don't know how he hasn't gotten.
You're welcome.
Yeah, he's living it up in the XFL right now. So
is he?
Yeah. But hopefully,
if you guys are wondering, the reason why I'm saying you're welcome is the rumor is that when they got thumped by us in the Super Bowl, John Elway shifted his mentality and said, "You know what? We need a defense like that," and built one over the next 2 years and got Peyton Manning his last Super Bowl. So, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Peyton Manning didn't win that Super Bowl single-handedly.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. It was almost like having a wheelchair-bound quarterback.
He did the Peyton Manning thing. He's like, I'm just going to make smart decisions, try not to turn the ball over. They did once, but
But he
let the defense score.
There has never been a scenario where you more clearly needed to retire than you win a Super Bowl while struggling. Like
that's
the perfect example.
I think the main thing though of that game, going back to it, if they had like Tom Brady in that one, it would have been a different game. if Tom Brady was in that backfield besides Cam Newton, or instead of Cam Newton. Because if you look at what Cam Newton did in that game, he wanted it to go for all the long balls.
Yeah.
And that made his windup so damn long that he never had
he's got
time
a long windup anyway. Yeah.
So he never
fed
had
right
time.
into your defense.
If they had a quarterback that got the ball out much faster or
Mhm.
changed up what they were trying to do, then it would have been a completely different game. But he kept literally the whole game was the same thing, just trying to.
The thing I'm always going to remember about that game is the business decision. That's the thing I'm always going to remember about that Super Bowl.
Well, it's crazy because if you looked at all the games in the playoffs that the Panthers, they destroyed the Cardinals. They destroyed a bunch of these teams. Like they were heavy favorites to win. Yep. And their defense was really good too.
Yeah, it was.
That was the crazy
thing. Was at the top of his game, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was the crazy thing was that defense, was amazing, and they could have won it. That was a Super Bowl winning defense. It was the offense turned the ball over too much.
Well, the new coat of paint on the Broncos and everything looks really great. There's only one problem. You're in the same division with the teams, dude.
The Chargers. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, the Chargers. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, you did get Frank Clark from us, so
there you go. Nice pass rusher there.
Yeah.
Get a little long in the tooth, but he can still do it.
Yeah,
that's all right. I don't think we have to rely on him though. I think that's the good thing.
Yeah, I think he's a third down guy now. That wasn't he in that role last year for you guys? He wasn't an every down guy.
Yeah, he wasn't every down for us.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he's getting a little old. Okay, Chargers. What is my man? That here's another snake bit. Fucking franchise right here. And I love their quarterback, dude. God, I love their quarterback.
Yeah, he just got paid. He
just
got paid.
It's right here.
But it's still the Chargers' current head coach thinks he's Don Coryell.
The Chargers current head coach needs to be shown the door as quickly as possible. Yeah, he thinks he's Don Coryell. Go ahead.
This one still makes me sad that they got Quentin Johnston, who was one of my top wide receivers coming out of the draft, or one of my favorite ones that I watched last season in college. Right. So it was very bittersweet. He's going to be awesome.
Is that the guy from TCU you were digging on last year?
Okay. Sure is. Very sad that they got it. Any other team? No, had to go. Even if you went to the Chiefs, I would have been happy. No. You had to go to the Chargers, the freaking Chargers.
Where he's going to languish, right? Actually, he won't. He'll put up epic numbers.
I'm gonna draft him in fantasy.
It's just they won't go anywhere, man.
I'm gonna root against the team. I'm gonna root for the player.
You don't have to root against the team as long as they've got that idiot head coach. You're fine. Don't worry about that. He'll keep going for it on fourth down. Don't worry about that.
Well, I mean, if
fantasy football.
If he Googles, should I go on fourth down here, and it says yes, he'll do it. Analytics.
What's that, John?
What were you saying? Fantasy football crosses team loyalties.
Yeah, that's it.
I can't stand Brady, but I drafted him every chance I got him.
Yeah, I had to. For me, it was Phillip Rivers because Phillip Rivers choked all the time. So it was great. He threw
playing from behind all the time, right? Yeah, he's going to chuck it
out. Not always. A lot of times they were up a lot, and then he would choke and get turnovers, picks, and whatever, and it wouldn't hurt his bottom line. So it was great to have him as fantasy.
I mean, the perfect scenario is if you have a fantasy player that you're relying on having a good week, and he blows it up against your team, but your team still wins the game. Like that's the best. The best scenario.
Ariel asks, explain fantasy football to me. So fantasy football, and this is for any sport. It's just it's giving points to players as depending on what stats they do
for their performance. Has nothing to do with
So if they run for 10 yards, like a running back gets the ball in his hand and he runs for 10 yards, he gets a point. If he went for 9 yards, he wouldn't get a point. I mean, depending on the league, you could do
0.9.
Yeah, you could, but most leagues don't. Most generic leagues don't do that. So it's like every 10 yard. If a wide receiver catches a ball and gets a 20-yard, you could get 20 points, or you can get, 2 points, or you can get if it's a point per catch, you would get an extra point because he caught the ball. So, and then if you get a touchdown, they get 6 points and stuff like that. So it just depends on the scoring system and how well they do. Not a lot of teams do, defense. So there's a couple out there, but you could do like point per tackle and stuff like that. So that's all it is.
Some do a half point per catch, which I kind of like. Yep.
So pretty much you draft a team, and depending on who you think or who you can get, and hope that your team gets the most points at the end of the day each week.
Yep.
That's it.
That's right. Football is back, Lord Toth. This Thursday, baby, the Hall of Fame game. Yes. Jets, Browns. Yes. All right. We don't need to talk about the Chargers anymore. They're not. You can't go past them, man. Come on now.
They lost Orlando Brown. That was their thing.
We cut Frank Clark too.
Yeah, they've let people go. Basically, they degressed. So
well, that's what happens to Super Bowl champs, man.
I heard that.
And they lost their offensive coordinator. So
I heard that same thing when Tyreek Hill was traded or went to the Dolphins. And what happened?
Oh,
you
man.
won the freaking Super Bowl.
Yeah, you won the Super Bowl.
I don't want to hear anything about Orlando Brown or Frank Clark because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
As
long as 15's back there, you're going to be in it, no doubt.
It's going to be interesting to see.
Chiefs will get it done.
Now, this is mainly Mahomes and Andy Reid, but it is going to be interesting to see the difference with the EB out of there. Eric
Bieniemy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to be.
Now, where did he go?
He's at
Commanders. He went to the Commanders.
Did he?
Went to Washington. Yeah, he's going to be with that young quarterback there. I forget his name. North Carolina guy.
We'll talk about that when we get to him.
Yeah.
But, I was just wondering where he went. Go ahead, John. It's your team. Do it.
Well, we recently had as we mentioned earlier, the fastest 40-yard record holder was decided just up and retired. He's like, I can't do this anymore.
Oh, John Ross. Yeah, they actually signed John Ross.
Yeah, we signed him, and he's like, he decided he doesn't have the speed anymore. So,
at 27 years old,
he chose to retire, and we immediately brought Ty Scott back, who's a undrafted free agent, but he's one of those because he's out of Southeast Missouri State or Southwest Missouri State. One of the Missouri states he's from. But I mean, he's a decent wide receiver. Everybody's like, oh, well, let's talk about the wide receiver core. Let's, everybody's freaking out because Tony had a little bit of an injury.
Juju left. Juju got signed left. With Patriots, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters.
No,
I think what matters is number 15 playing for Andy Reid. I think that's what matters.
Yeah, that's what matters.
You know what? Another one, it will be interesting, is when Kelsey decides to hang it up.
Yeah.
Kelsey says he's going to stay as long as Mahomes stays.
That's another 10 years. I don't know about that. Isn't he in his 30s now? Kelsey, he's got to be 29, 30.
Up there. I don't think he's 30 yet.
Kelsey got a little chippy with a teammate in practice.
Yeah. Well,
that's so overblown. That stuff is so overblown.
It happens.
I get so annoyed by that. They're imploding. It's like, no, this happens every fucking camp. They're out there in the hot freaking weather dealing with people pushing them around.
They're even out there. And they're hitting each other. Yeah. Hang on, let me see right here. Ariel says, so does that mean football will be replacing your normal Thursday streaming? No, ma'am. I get the football out of my system on Sundays. We do a pregame show every week of the NFL. No, my brother and I will be doing our show. Actually, it bleeds probably right into the beginning of the Thursday night game. I just pick it up after I get off the air. So
in a way,
don't worry about that. Nothing's changing. This is just an added show to my rotation. That's all.
In a way, it's just kind of replacing your wrestling commitments.
Yeah. I had in the off season. I had a wrestling thing, and
this was before the wrestling.
Yeah, this was that we did this all last year. It was one of the first shows I did, and actually the gaming show has changed a little bit, but this is part of my rotation. This is Knock and I have been doing this since the beginning of last season, and Matt came on as a guest and decided to join the team, and now John has joined it. So to be on this show, you have to love this stuff like there's no tomorrow, and all of us on this panel love football in some way, shape, or form. I think Matt leans more towards the college game, Knox just addicted to all of it. So, I'm an NFL guy myself. So, and I think John is too. I'm pretty sure he's an NFL guy too. But anyway,
I might be.
So, pretty much when it comes to the Chiefs, it's all about Andy Reid and 15. It's going to be moving parts. Other than that, as long as those two.
Well, I mean, because we've still got, besides Kelsey, we've still got, we re-signed Jerick McKinnon, who everybody overlooks.
Yeah.
And in fact, we probably wouldn't have won the Super Bowl without Jerick McKinnon last year.
Yeah.
If he wouldn't have slid down for clock management reasons, and at the 1 yard line instead of just going for it, we might not have won.
Yeah.
We might not have won.
Speaking of sliding down, it wasn't hard to slip on that field. The Cardinals have had a problem with this for years.
Do you think it's because, and it's the only stadium that does this, it has a field that actually goes outside. They pull the field outside to be in the sun so they can grow it, and then they slide it back in there so they can have grass indoors.
What I don't understand is, and when Auburn played Oregon, when Cam Newton was at Auburn, both teams were slipping all over the place in that stadium. But they've had this is a issue that's happened periodically in big games, and for whatever reason, they're in the desert. They have issues with humidity on that field.
That's really strange.
I
think it has something to do with that retractable field. I think maybe the sod isn't deep enough, and that the pressure of these horses on that
but it impacted the Eagles and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl several times.
Yep. Yeah, they really need to take care of that. Okay, moving on. Are we done with the AFC yet?
Pretty much.
Okay.
We don't.
Really need to talk about
Garoppolo to the Raiders. Who gives two fucks? They're not going anywhere.
Poor Devontae Adams.
The only thing that I care about for this is the fact that we will no longer be able to wreck the Raiders' car.
Hey, man, let me tell you something. The guy above you on the panel is glad to have that dude. Believe that.
Yeah, better than what we had.
It's better than what he had, for sure, no doubt. Okay, now here's a guy that Knox been high on since he came in the league.
Wow.
You don't even act. Don't make me look it up and start showing clips of you talking about this guy. Nah, come on. But what went on with the Bears in the offseason? Anything big?
Looks like they signed a few guys. Trayman Edmonds. I don't know if there was a whole lot that they actually did. So,
yeah. Justin Fields, it just depends on his progress. What's going to happen with them?
Yeah.
They're always going to
definitely going to be more of a thrower than a runner. I mean, he can run around all day. They're still going to lose by 30 points because,
Yeah, absolutely.
The NFC North, or as Chris Berman called it, the Norris division.
The Norse division. Yes.
Which apparently is
it should be the Vikings to lose, I think.
Yeah.
But the Bears,
Although, up and coming here.
Hey, and they finished strong last year. And a lot of times when teams are in transition, that's when you start looking at them. Unbelievable how they finished.
I think they'll win it, that division.
And
really?
They mentioned Hendon Hooker, who was a great wide receiver for Tennessee.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a good weapon for him to go along with Amon St. Brown.
Yeah.
So they got some great weapons.
Hey, man, I don't know if you watched their Hard Knocks last year, but their entire coaching staff is ex-players. Every last one of them are. And
Hooker's a quarterback, though.
Yeah, Hooker is a quarterback.
Is he? I'm sorry. Yeah, who was I thinking of with Tennessee? That's the wide receiver.
Hyatt.
Hyatt, that's right. Hyatt was the one. He was the other guy on my list. That's right. I got it mixed up. My bad.
Yeah. Going to be interesting to see if they come out strong to begin with. And I'd love to see them win the division. I'm a Leo, so I'm a closet case Lions fan, man. I used to love watching them when Barry was there, man.
My favorite season will always be the John Kitna season. So.
Yes, John Kitna. Hell yeah, man. Love that guy. Let's see. Ariel says My grandpa's team is the 49ers, though last I heard they weren't really doing too well because like the last decade they were rebuilding the team from scratch. Darlin, they're one of the strongest teams in the NFC. I don't know where you've been getting your football information from, but the only reason why they didn't go to the Super Bowl last year is they ran out of quarterbacks.
Yeah, they changed the rules because of them. So yeah,
that's great.
And they did make the Super Bowl, I guess 4 years ago. So
yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did. They had the
wasn't that the Chiefs? Wasn't that Holmes'
Yeah.
first Super Bowl win? I think.
Yep.
Was against the Niners.
20-10 with I think it was the third quarter or something like that, and they let him off the hook.
Your boy Shanahan, man.
Not with a Dennis Green reference, I think.
Right?
Exactly.
Let him off the hook. They are who we thought they were.
Matt, I did mention it at the end of the show on Wednesday that I was like, man, I had so many quips in the show that Matt, I could see Matt,
Yeah, man, you were missed.
Everybody else didn't hear my clips, and I was like, oh man, I'm missing Matt right
now. Matt would be driving those things. He was doing good. We had a good time though. Good. Let's see. Okay, next team. Yes, we're all pulling for the Lions in that division.
This is going to be.
This is going to be interesting to see, and I think we're going to see the same thing we saw with Pickett filling in the hole in Pittsburgh. I think it's going to be the same situation here. They're going to struggle. They're going to have a hard time this year.
Go ahead and take me off there, joke. I'm going to look up something real quick.
Sure, absolutely.
It has to do with the Green Bay Packers. So
I really
Jordan
think
Love is not the quarterback.
He is not the answer. No doubt about it. They're going to struggle. It's going to be rough. Let me tell you. But we're going to find out what that new head coach is made of. The guy that Aaron Rodgers handpicked to be the head coach of the Packers. Now he's not there anymore. We're going to find out what kind of coach he is. But I don't know, man. Jordan Love, the spots that he's been in and played, of course, you don't ever know what it's going to be like until they get, under fire. And he is going to be taking the majority of the snaps in preseason and everything this year. So we'll see how it works out. But I don't think he's the answer. I really don't.
Yeah.
I think it's going to come down to Minnesota and the Lions in this division. Minnesota, it's Minnesota's to lose. Let's face it. I mean, the Lions have to take that next step and punch. They have to. David has to throw the stone at Goliath. You know what I'm saying, and knock him off. That's what's got to happen.
Doesn't help that their first game this year is versus us.
What? Oof. The Lions?
Yeah, the first official game.
How the fuck did you draw the Lions in the season opener? How the fuck did that happen?
We needed a tune-up game.
Wow, I guess.
Gotta test out that new receiver.
In the first game, Dan Campbell's going to have them, frothing at the mouth.
He is. He is. But are you on? Well, you're hosting it, right? You're the champ, so it's got to be in KC. Good Lord, man. They're going to hang the banner on the fucking Lions? Give me a fucking break. Unreal. That's a shitty opener. I'm sorry. It just is. All right, man. What you got here, bro?
So this is a guy that got picked. This is the USFL, by the way.
Okay. All right.
This is the championship game. And the one of the quarterbacks that got picked up from the USFL was Alex Magoo. And I'm a Birmingham Stallion guy. That was the team I picked last year.
Right. That's your guys.
Started.
Yep.
They made it to the championship second year in a row. I made a good pick, apparently. But Alex Magoo.
Doesn't hurt that the whole league's based out of Birmingham, but I digress.
Well, no, they expanded it to a couple seasons or a couple different places this year.
Okay.
They actually had, I think, 3 different places they played this year. But it keeps the costs low for them. That's why they do it. But Alex Magoo was basically last season. He was the Pat Mahomes of the USFL.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's I don't know if I got the sound going on, but it's just this one highlight I want to show. But this is what he did pretty much all season, including the championship game. And this is the championship game.
Well, you've got it muted on the screen anyway. So here we go. He's dancing around. Get out of town. He had no business throwing that ball.
Nice.
What the hell? That's cool, man. That's cool.
So I just thought it was a little interesting that he got picked up by the Packers. And I'm not going to lie. I'm hoping that he gets to play this season. He balled out. I'm going to completely be rooting for him to take over. I don't know if he will, but this last season.
I don't know. I think he could.
Spot.
He was
he can take
drafted
the
by the
job from Jordan
Falcons,
Love.
if I'm not mistaken. I think he was drafted by the Falcons when he came out of college.
By Seattle.
Was he drafted by Seattle?
Yeah.
Maybe I got the wrong bird.
He never actually played in.
No, never played it down
in the NFL,
yeah.
So I'm praying that's the one I'm praying that he gets a shot. Yeah, I want to see what happens because I think that'd be pretty cool because who knows what's gonna happen with Jordan Love, and so if he doesn't do well.
Shit.
If they put him a Magoo, I'm going to be watching the whole way.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'm not overstating that, too. He was the Patrick Mahomes.
Could he be – what was that kid's name that took the Niners the second half of the season? Mr. Irrelevant?
He could.
Could he be that guy this year?
I think he could be more because he has escapability like crazy. There was another highlight somewhere in there where he's in the end zone. And he gets out of the pocket and throws it like 30 yards. And it was on the moving to his right, and he still managed to throw it just slightly to the left, like across his body, and it was a perfect throw. So he did that all last season. So
leave it to Real Wade Nation to just throw in a random comment.
Yeah,
Cowboys we all know that already. Anyway, okay, enough about the Packers. They're not going anywhere.
The Bengals might be looking at signing Reed Sinnett from the XFL.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Next, we got the guys that should win this division this year, unless the Lions can jump up and bite them.
So they've lost their running game. For all we know. So that's going to be.
It's going to be all on Kirk Cousins.
All on Kirk Cousins.
Check down Charlie. Go, man. Go.
And now we're going into the
don't even talk about Minnesota. Yeah, that's right. Don't even need to talk about them.
They're like the Titans of the NFC.
They are of the NFC. Yeah. They have all the talent in the world and don't know what to do with it.
Justin Jefferson is the biggest bright spot. They let Adam Thielen go. I think they kind of screwed over. But the Bucks, they got the favorite guy.
Boomer Sooner, what's up?
We'll see what.
Love it, Baker Mayfield.
All the wide receivers are getting kind of old, so
they'll be last in the division.
They will.
That's okay. Their quarterback's getting kind of old too. So
yeah, he is, and beat up from all the travels.
I would like to see a commercial with him on the.
Yes, him on the pirate ship. They got to do him on the pirate ship, right? Come on, man. Got to.
Atlanta Falcons.
Lord Toth says, "Last, laugh out loud." Yeah, what's up with this team?
Nothing really. Desmond Ritter. I guess will be in charge again.
Okay, move on. The Dirty Birds are not.
They let go Calvin Ridley, who looks amazing in camp after coming back from his
suspension. Looking at this offseason, the Saints should win this damn division in a walk, man.
Well, really look at my beneath my name there. I've already got it loaded.
Oh, NFC South champs. Yep. I'm telling you. What do we got in Carolina?
So this is the winners of the draft, right? They got their first overall pick, and they got their little shorty guy, Bryce Young.
Mm-hmm.
So that's we'll see how that goes. They got Adam Thielen. He's got
DJ Moore. Yeah.
I think did they get him or did they trade him?
Oh no, he's gone to Chicago.
Yep. Yeah. It looks like they got Charknado.
Say that again.
They got Charknado.
Okay.
DJ Chark.
DJ Charknado.
Yep.
There you go. Yeah.
So they might be a couple of years before they're back into relevance.
We'll see.
Yeah. Well, they got a bunch of picks for DJ Moore, so
they could be the Jacksonville Jaguars of the NFC. They could be a team that's going to amass talent over a couple of years and really get the ball rolling. But the team to beat in this division, from what it looks like with Brady gone, is the Saints. They've got a defensive coordinator, a head coach, and now they've got a trigger man that is not going to turn it over like a damn human jugs machine. So, he's going to play a little more conservative.
They probably need to get AAA for their quarterback, though.
Yeah, right. Derek Carr. I like Derek Carr.
I think
like
Alvin Kamara is finally out of trouble. I guess that's over with.
Did he get out of trouble? Okay.
I think so.
There's a couple things with Derek Carr that concern me. One, he's an emotional quarterback. That can be good or bad.
Yeah.
The other thing is, because of that emotion, when he got benched with a couple of games to go last year, and I brought this up before, when he got benched at the end of the season, 2 games left, he walked out on the team.
Yeah.
And you don't do that.
Yeah.
If you're healthy, you do not sit out.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
You may need
come back like Eli Rodgers.
How many times did Drew Bledsoe get replaced and he got up in press conferences and said, "Look, this ain't amateur football. This is pro football. Nobody promised me anything when I got in this league. I'm going to help this team any way I can." And he was replaced everywhere he went. That was his mantra, help the guy out,
With the Cowboys,
I guarantee you Tom Brady appreciated every bit of help he gave him. You know what I mean? So, yeah. He should
Sounds like a Fitz Magic there, the Fitzpatrick.
Right, exactly. There's another guy that helped out everybody with every team he went to.
His beard got longer with every team.
No shit.
He should have layered it, like whatever
right?
color team he was on that year.
Dolphins. Yeah.
Well,
Titans.
in this layer, on the top layer, this was the first team I went to, and then it goes down in layers, and it's just a different color because of different teams he was on.
He was like Samson. If he ever trimmed his beard, he couldn't play football anymore.
She wanted to know, was he throwing a tantrum? Yes, that's how professional athletes throw tantrums. They don't hang out with their team.
I guess they didn't want to do the NFC East, so we'll have to discuss.
What's funny about that, now, guys? What's funny about that is the NFC least all of a sudden last year made the jump to the NFC's best. It was ridiculous. The jump that whole entire division made. They were tough to stop. It was ridiculous. So who do we want to talk about first? Washington. They have a new owner. Thank fucking God.
They have a new QB-ish. I mean, they're going with Sam Howell. They got Eric Bieniemy. So we'll see what this is his time to prove.
They've already got the head coach, right?
Yeah, Ron Rivera, but he's probably going to retire at the end of this year.
I think
that's why Eric Bieniemy went there was because he's expected to take over because Reed's like, I'm not going anywhere.
Yep.
If I'm still healthy. In fact, he made a joke about it. He says everybody after the Super Bowl, everybody's talking about me retiring. Is like, man, I looked in the mirror and said, man, I must be looking old.
Yeah.
I really hope that they change the name again.
Well, if I'm Andy Reid, there's no reason to retire.
No.
Like if the Jets went 6-11 last year, then you think about it. But with what they got, no, you don't walk away from that.
Yeah. And I tell you what, man, and we'll discuss it when we talk about the preview for the season, but man, the quality of talent at the quarterback position in the AFC is bizarrely off the charts compared to the NFC.
Oh, yeah.
It's just wild, the kind of stuff they have. Ariel says, when did the Washington Commanders come out? Well, I'm not sure what that question means. If you're talking about the name, they made the name change last year.
That was year before
when that franchise started, but they have been a perennial powerhouse up until the last couple of decades. One of the greatest coaches ever, in my opinion, Joe Gibbs, took 3 quarterbacks of 3 different nationalities, ethnicities, to the Super Bowl and won with them. He did it with a white guy, a black guy, and an Indian.
Papa Joe was a good quarterback.
Yep, no doubt. Okay, so
one thing I want to say about Bieniemy though.
Yeah,
he's a good play caller, but he doesn't. The magic for the Chiefs wasn't Eric Bieniemy. It was Mahomes and Reed.
Yeah, it's Mahomes and Reed. No doubt about it.
Like, this is definitely his place to prove it.
Yeah.
This will be like.
And what's going to be interesting to see, and this is what Hackett's downfall was. Hackett tried to shove a square peg into a round hole with Wilson, right? He tried to run his offense with a quarterback that couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. What's going to be interesting to see is what he does with this new team. He's not going to have a Mahomes at quarterback. We know that, right?
He's
a miracle worker at quarterback. So it's going to be interesting to see if he goes to a power running game, if he goes, a power running game, play action type thing, see if he switches up or if he keeps doing a spread offense.
And they have Jacoby Brissett as their backup.
Yeah. Jacoby Brissett? Yeah. Well, then you don't need to be running a spread offense. You better be running the football if you got that guy. So, hey. Yeah. Anyway, who's next on the list out of the NFC Cowboys. Least, as I like to call them? Who?
Dallas Cowboys.
The Dallas Cowboys, and we just showed footage earlier of their mighty might running back. Same thing I say every year about this team. As long as Jerry Jones is running the show, they will sell jerseys and not win playoff games. That's just the way I see it.
What if they bring Jimmy Johnson back?
They're not bringing Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson is happy as he can be on his
millions of dollars
boat in Miami. Trust me, he's just fine where he's at. Yep, he ain't going nowhere. And the ex-head coach for the Packers, whatever his name is, he's just a yes man doing what the McCarthy guy says. Yes, McCarthy. He. And as much as I love him because he's local talent, we watched him play here locally. Dak Prescott. I don't.
Who's the backup for the Cowboys? That's the real.
Oh my God! Yeah, what is that guy's name? All he does is win, right? Friggin', Dallas, right, from playing DCUO. He loves it when that guy gets in the game. When Dak gets hurt and that guy plays.
For Rush.
Rush, is that his name? Rush?
Yep.
Isn't he red-haired guy? Yeah. He's good, man. He's good.
He's the best backup red-headed quarterback the Cowboys have had. I say that just to take a shot at Jason Garrett.
I thought that was at Andy Dalton, but okay.
Could have been a shot at him.
No, not Dalton. Oh God, no.
He was with the Cowboys, wasn't he, for 1 year?
Yeah, he was, but I'm just saying, Dalton, dude, don't make me say it because I can't stand that fool. I really can't. They had so much talent on that Bengals team when he was there, and that guy only knows how to throw one football, a freaking laser. You'd think he was friggin' Cam Newton or something. He's such a retard. I can't stand it. Don't get me going about the red BB gun. I can't stand that fool. Go ahead.
The only good thing I can say about the Cowboys is they have a very nice stadium.
They have a very nice stadium with a really big TV in it.
Yeah, they did finally get rid of Zeke, which is good for him because
that is good for him.
All 1 yard average was not doing it.
We'll see. We'll see how Pollard does in the starting role. It's a little bit different. It's kind of like the quarterback. When you're coming off the bench, you got spring in your step. When you're the starter and you're carrying the load, it's a little different. We'll see how he does. I think the kid's going to be able to handle it just fine, though. But he's not my kind of running back, though. This is a guy that breaks ankles in space. I like guys that can lower their shoulder and bust somebody up,
So Dalvin Cook is a possibility there.
Yeah. Now, I could say he hasn't signed with anybody yet, right?
Yeah.
And he's a free agent, so there's no telling where he's going to be. But, yeah, that is definitely a possibility there.
There's a lot of talent left on the free agent list.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that when we get done with the breakdown on each team's offseason. Okay, but bottom line with Dallas, look, Jerry Jones is running the show there. It's like having Daniel Snyder as an owner only without the bad headlines. It's.
I think they'll be competitive.
Yes, they're going to be competitive, but they're not. I hate to say it, but Dak chokes in the big one.
I think they'll have like a 10-7 type year, lose first or second round playoffs.
Yeah,
and they go in spurts. They'll lose.
They do.
They'll win 5 games. They'll lose 3 or 4. Then they'll win a couple, and then they'll back into the playoffs, and they'll do an okay game, but someone will not catch the ball, and Cowboy fans say they catch it, and it's just that'll be the thing all offseason. He caught the ball. That was that'll be the theme for the Cowboys. He caught the ball is their motto.
Okay, next.
We could do. Let's do the Giants.
Oh
next.
God, they're retarded. They didn't sign their running back, the best player on the damn team.
They signed him.
Did they? Okay,
yeah, they got him.
They didn't do it at the deadline. They must have done it after.
No. They did a 1-year deal for $11 million rather than franchise for $10 million.
Okay.
So they got him for a year, anyways.
Saquon Barkley is the best player on the team. Why you wouldn't sign him long term, I don't understand. Probably because you're wearing him out. That's probably it.
It just showed, and they've been talking about this. It's just the value of running backs has gotten. They showed that the average pay of like running backs last season was less than the kicker.
What?
Yeah. Wow. Like there's no value. Like Joe, that whole running back being a big thing or getting drafted first in fantasy, like that those days are over.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's all running back committee now, huh?
Yeah, by committee or just throw anybody in there. There's plenty of running backs coming out of college. You can just put whatever in there, and it's just throwing the ball.
It's the way the NFL is going with the passing game. I see it. Yeah,
it'll circle back around. Eventually people will be like, "Wow, they're running the ball. That's a great idea. Let's run the ball more." And then it'll circle back around. But for right now, for the next decade, so it's gonna be.
You remember who the last team that did it like that was, right? Played great defense, ran the football. Yeah.
The Ravens?
They're up in the great Northwest. Yeah. Well, but they didn't win any hardware. We did.
The Ravens won. They won a Super Bowl.
The Legion of Boom.
The Ravens won a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Since we did it? Did they win after us?
I'm thinking Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis. His last Super Bowl was before.
Then they had Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think you guys got it.
The last Super Bowl.
4 years since you guys got it. So I mean, that's not really a big.
The last Super Bowl the Ravens won was 2013. It was like only
3 or 4 years ago.
2013. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They have two. They won. Yeah. They beat the Giants. They stomped the Giants 1 year.
You know what, Joe? You know what, Joe? You know what you didn't do? You didn't run on the goal line. So you know what? So shush you. That's what you didn't do. Don't come at me about your running when you.
By the way,
chose not to.
The Ravens. Yep. Malcolm Butler. Here's a good question. More worthless quarterback, Trent Dilfer in 2000 or Peyton Manning 2015?
I gotta say Trent Dilfer because at least Peyton Manning knew what he was doing. He knew he had a deal.
I'd say Peyton Manning.
In terms of
I'm not saying it's a big difference, but still.
Okay. Let's see. What do we got left in the East?
The Eagles.
The Eagles. They're just going to keep doing what they're doing. And look, man,
got the guy.
That team right there, dude, they're poised to win for a while. You out? Yeah, they're poised to win in the NFC for a long time. They're going to be a power for a long time. That I have to say, Mr. Hurts has proved me wrong. I did not think he was going to do well at the NFL level. I was not a big fan of him at Bama or at Oklahoma. But wow, I think it's a tribute to the coaching staff there. They have made him a really dangerous player. And I don't think anybody does a quarterback sneak as effectively as those guys do. It is like watching a glacier move. It's ridiculous.
I look forward to Sean Payton stealing that and doing it all the time as well. So that's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. So,
I would put Jalen Hurts as the number 3 quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, an argument can be made for that, no doubt.
I put him above Josh Allen.
They're gonna get rid of that.
I would put him above Josh Allen as well, because you know what? The difference between him and Josh Allen, he doesn't gamble. He doesn't gamble at all. He's an extremely smart quarterback. Hurts has proven that. Like I said, I completely was not a fan of his. I was actually, if you believe it or not, as much as I hate Murray, I was more of a fan of Murray when he was in college than that guy. I guess because he came from Bama, I didn't like the turncoat in him. You know what I mean? I just, proven me wrong. My gosh, that they didn't lose the Super Bowl because of him. There's no doubt about that.
Well, you talking about quarterback sneak, Hurts. I mean, even when he was like an 18-year-old freshman playing at Alabama, his legs, he's got some of the strongest legs I've ever seen out of a quarterback.
He's a beast. Physically, he's a beast. I wouldn't want to have to tackle the guy. It's ridiculous.
No. They lost the Super Bowl because our quarterback had greater willpower than their entire team.
Yeah, and it wasn't Hurts' fault.
And the refs.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's
that argument can
about
be made
the
every
refs.
time.
Oh, and it's the
don't you love it, John?
A player went out, and he was the key factor.
He was the key factor, right? Yeah.
It just sucks that it's always with the Chiefs winning a game. It's always with like the most shittiest way possible. Like it's always the Bills and Chiefs game, that ended because the Bills never got a chance to get the ball. That was such a great game that, Josh Allen not getting a chance to score back. And, but, it's the defense, needs to do their job too. But still, it's like, that's such a shitty way to end the game where one team gets the chance and one team, because it's a coin flip. If Josh Allen had gotten the ball, he would have scored it. So, but, and then like with this one, it was a holding penalty. Like, the Eagles could have had a chance to come back, and it's like we always get robbed of that thing, and they're always trying to, when it comes to the Chiefs, it seems like it's always them getting the good hand of fate.
Oh,
sounds kind of like
no.
Here.
I can point out plenty of times when the Chiefs got robbed. So we get robbed.
Okay, now listen. The animosity in the AFC West is not going to take over the show. Okay,
I was just trying to feed
the Broncos fan and the Chiefs fan are not going to take over all this. So the East, we'll talk about predictions and stuff. But the Eagles are poised to just keep going. I don't see how people are going to have to build teams in the NFC to stop them. And what sucks about it is they can get you either way. They can run the ball right at you and just manhandle your ass. And if you load up and stop that, then Hurts is going to hurt you with the arm. He's going to hurt you with it.
Well, they just have to they just have to follow what the Commanders did. The Commanders beat them. Who knows how? But just
well,
the Commanders tape.
We talked about that last year. They kept them off the field for 8 minutes at a time. Long ass fucking drives with scores. That's how you got to do it when you're playing a team that good.
It's funny. I remember the Chargers trying to do that against Peyton Manning. The year that Peyton Manning was like MVP, the 55 touchdown season. And I remember the game against the Chargers where they were like, they tried to do that. They were like 10 minutes drives, and yet Peyton Manning would score in like less than a minute.
Yeah. Sometimes you just can't do it.
It just doesn't matter. But it's definitely a way to beat teams. It's like, just keep the other guy off the field. Keep Mahomes off the field.
13 seconds.
You can't even give him 13 seconds. So
13 seconds. That's all we need.
That's all you need.
That's it. I took a quarterback sneak one time. Winks nudges. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Next division, my friend.
This is the last division. So we
got
the Cardinals. I don't know why
used to be the toughest one in football. It's dropped off now. Now the West and the AFC is the toughest one.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why they posted this guy on the pictures.
I don't know why either. That makes no damn sense.
So he's not going to play until the second.
Is he one of your favorite players?
Me, no. I never really cared for him one way or the other.
And I am a vehement hater of this guy right here.
He's bigger than the Cowboys running back.
Yeah, he's bigger than the Cowboys running back, no doubt. We don't even need to talk about that team, dude.
Coach, we'll see.
Mahomes' daughter is bigger than the Cowboys running back. What are you talking about?
Now this team is scary good. If they can get a trigger man to stand up for 16 games, they're fucking problems. It's going to be them and the Eagles every time, unless somebody challenges them. We're not going to do it this year, but
lost 5 players who cracked the top 10 in PFF's free agency rankings.
Yeah,
they lost them, get them out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they're going to keep rolling, man. Now, what's their quarterback's position now? They've got they lost one of them to the Raiders, and
so you got Trey Lance, Mark Purdy, and I think.
Are they going to start Purdy or Lance? Have they even talked about that?
I don't know. I think it's still Mark Purdy's show for now, but I'm not.
I
sure.
think it should be Purdy's show. I think he proved that all he does is do exactly what the game plan calls for and wins games. So just get him some better protection and keep rolling. Because did that guy lose a game? Did he lose a game? I think
that's how he got hurt. I don't think so.
He got hurt. That's the only reason why they lost, right? I mean, yeah. I think you keep rolling with that guy.
And they're the reason for the rule change. You can now have 4 quarterbacks on it.
The last one not count against your roster. Yeah, that was
right.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. That's a good thing because that was sad in the NFC Championship game last year, guys. I got to say that was sad. It was tough to watch because when he went down, who was quarterbacking? I don't even remember.
I mean, they had for one play or for a couple plays, they just had the running back.
Fullback.
Yeah, it was sad. It really was.
It was a shame. You just saw like this was like Rome crumbling right there.
Yes,
like you're watching it live, a team crumble because
no answer. I mean, all they could do is throw the punter out there if they needed to.
Where is it on that? The playlist that they have in front of them on those laminated papers. Like, where's the list for? I have no quarterback.
I have no quarterback.
Here's my
right?
plays to play, and how many plays is on that list?
We're gonna run fake punts the rest of the game. Here we go. Let's do it. But hey, they made that rule change. That's a good thing. So we won't have that situation again. Now this team. They got snake bit last year by the injury bug. They had more walking wounded than any team in the NFL, and it was pretty bad. I think with their head coach, they could be back on top really quickly, but they've got to stay healthy. Aaron Donald's still there. Matthew Stafford's still there. And the main thing, Cooper Kupp is still there, and I hate that little son of a bitch. Let me tell you, but he's tough, man. He really.
Yeah,
is.
well, they're all pretty. They're all getting long in the tooth, though.
Yeah, they are.
NFL, so
they are.
Mm-hmm. We'll see how they do, but
I still think the best game last year was Baker Mayfield coming in with 2.
Baker Mayfield stepping off the bench when he got there 2 days before was awesome.
Yeah, it was bad the rest of the season, but that game that was such a fun game to watch.
It was.
And
watch
the whole thing, and it was so good. Just it was just fun. It was just fun
to
see. It's so cool when you saw it with McAfee as soon as he got to the 49ers, man, he's throwing touchdowns.
Yep.
It's crazy how you see these players that are just able to step in and right away make an impact.
We talked about emotion in football. It has a lot to do with it, It really does. And when you've got a new guy and new turf, and he's feeling rejuvenated, it's amazing what they can do. It really is.
The secret to the NFL is sustaining that excitement.
That's it. That's when you have teams like the Chiefs dump one to like the Raiders. They dump one to a team that they have no business losing to, and it's usually because of an emotional low. Something dinging the locker room in some way, shape, or form.
Well,
and a lot of teams sometimes need that wake up call.
It's like I think I've mentioned it before. I don't know what night of the week it would be. Maybe it'd be Saturday nights.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe earlier in the week. Drew Brees and Sean Payton would sit down and go over a mock game of how they would call this here, call that there. They would sit for at least an hour, Saturday night and chart everything out.
Yeah.
You have to have that kind of commitment.
Yeah, you do. Absolutely. Yep. Okay, Rams, we'll see if they can bounce back or not. If they can, they're dangerous. But
we skip that.
Hey, don't you go past my guys.
It's the last one on the list.
They're going to end up third.
That player who we can't name or we'll get kicked off YouTube with holding a jersey up there.
Yes, it's pronounced Nigba. I'm not scared of it. He's with us, and oh my God, they gave Geno a well-deserved contract, but and they have arguably a great wide receiving core. I love DK Metcalf. I hope he doesn't go anywhere this season. But yeah, I think we're going to end up second or third. It just depends on how well the Rams bounce back. Because the Rams have our number. That's why I say we're going to end up third. They always do, no matter how bad they are. You know, we always lose at least one, if not both, to the Rams. But yeah, we might ruin some people's days during the season, but we're not going anywhere.
Actually, Metcalf, he could go to either the Mr. Universe contest or the NBA Slam Dunk contest.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. He could do both. That guy, zero body fat on that dude right there. Good Lord.
Yeah. And I guess Geno Smith just needed the proper system.
Yeah.
Because
he obviously now, and part of it's learning the game and being a veteran. I mean, the experience is a great teacher. Just the best example I can think of is the guy that I drew a picture of that's right in front of me right now. Jim Plunkett was a Heisman Trophy winner, didn't do shit for the New England Patriots for years. Then, he goes to the Raiders and wins 2 Super Bowls.
That and Geno was put in a bad situation. Was it the Jets?
Yeah.
You got thrown into the wolves with that one.
Let's see. Ruben says, "Hail, my father's favorite things was watching and betting on football. His birthday was January 31st, so his birthday was a Super Bowl party."
Oh, man.
Glad you are having fun. We are always having fun, Ruben. It's good to see you, buddy. Yep. Good to see you. And good luck on the job search, buddy. I hope you get something soon. But anyway, we're not going to be but we will break some hearts. One thing about Pete Carroll's teams, they're always going to play till the end. They do not give up ever. And that atmosphere they play in, this is something we have in common with the Chiefs. It is the closest thing you'll find to a college atmosphere at a professional football game. People get into it.
If the 49ers have their typical skill position injury stuff, then the Seahawks could very well win that division.
Yeah, they could. It's that division right there. It's the Niners to lose. It's the Niners to lose. Absolutely.
I saw a little clip on TikTok the other day. They were like, I guess Taylor Swift was playing in the stadium, and they're like, I can see, and they were panning around the stadium, and they're like, I can see this many people showing up for a Taylor Swift concert, but would they really show up for a football game? I was like,
they would.
Field especially, definitely.
They would.
Yeah.
Yes,
we do.
They do. Who's going to win the decimal meter challenge this year, man? Is it going to be you or me?
It's going to be us.
It's going to be you? Yeah, because you're winning these days. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. But the 12th man ceremony is always great, dude. I love it. I know we stole it from the Aggies. I know that, but still, it's cool as shit. I love it.
By the way, I think the Chiefs have been in the playoffs like 9 of the past 10 years.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I mean, it's a system.
Yes.
And we've hosted the AFC Championship the last 5 years.
Last 5 years, ever since Mahomes got there. Yep. Ever since Mahomes
there,
they've owned it. Home field advantage.
I would say
the road to the Super Bowl goes through the Chiefs.
I would say more when Andy Reid got there.
Well, that's why.
With Alex Smith, he was still.
Mahomes been there 5 years, and they've had the home field advantage. But they've been in the AFC Championship game way more than that with Alex Smith and guys before him. Yeah. So
just not Matt Castle. Just not Matt.
Not Matt Castle. No.
By the way, Chad Henne recently made a. Chad Henne was recently in a Subway commercial.
Was he?
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, for like.
I tell you what, I don't know what it is about Reed, but he must love having fucking 60-year-old fucking backup quarterbacks or something, man. I don't know what the deal is.
When it mattered, he
got it done.
That one drive. That one drive was like such a
no doubt
drive. It was crazy.
That's what he got paid for. And there's another instance of experience, winning out. You know what I mean? He didn't mess it up, no doubt. But I mean, the guy before him was my favorite backup in the league for years. The last guy that took the Miami Dolphins to the playoffs before Tua. What was his name? You know who I'm talking about. They pulled him off the couch to be your backup. I can't remember the dude's name. I used to get him in Madden all the time as my backup. Knock. What the hell is that guy's name?
Matt Moore or
Matt Moore. That's it.
Yeah.
Matt Moore. Yeah. Love that guy. I think he's awesome.
Yeah. He was good for us,
Yep.
and we get good. I'm just hoping that that magic continues if necessary. We just hope it's not necessary.
Who was the best quarterback you guys had before? Like Trent Green, maybe?
Trent Green. Trent Green. Well, depends on how far back you want to go.
Joe Montana.
There was a guy named Dawson that was
just
pretty good.
Before it, just the first one before.
Okay.
So.
Well, it's Alex Smith.
Alex Smith was the quarterback before.
Yeah, no, he was good.
Yeah, he was.
I guess before Andy Reid got there, then I guess
it was so funny when he came off the bench. Remember when he played for the Redskins this last time before he retired? I remember that he came off the bench, and I said, "Watch this. They're going to walk everybody down and win that division." Because this is when they were the least, right? The NFC least. Everybody was losers. And sure enough, man, Alex Smith won that division for him with 6 games to go in the season or something like that. They won down the stretch. It was great, man. I loved it. Okay. Well, thanks for that, Knock. Fun breakdown. We're going to talk about, we'll look at what we think is going to happen. But right now, what I want to do is I want to showcase the class of 2003. This week is all about the NFL Hall of Fame, of course. And we've got 9 guys going in this time around. You see them here. Some of the faces, I've watched every one of these guys play football that were players, and the coach. I've seen him coach. But let's start with we'll go in alphabetical order. We'll start with Rondé Barber, from that famous Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. The career numbers 47 interceptions. Now that's a crazy number for a cornerback to have in their career. It's really great. 5 Pro Bowls, 28 sacks. He played for 16 seasons and had 14 touchdowns playing defense. He played both cornerback, and later on in his career, he played, I believe it was strong safety he played. Of course, he's the brother of Tiki Barber. And I got it. This is the one video clip I'm going to show, guys. And if I get dinged for it, I'll cut it out later. But I have to show you this because of course, we all know he thrived in that Tony Dungy Tampa 2 defense that was created to stop one guy. Can you guys name him? Who they created that defense to stop? It was a division rival. Michael Vick is who it was made to stop, because they had to keep him on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
So they played the corners up, right? And the linebackers played wide, and they filled those gaps to the outside, just to bat down. It was all about passing lanes in that one, because they had to keep the corners up because this guy would get to the outside. And Tony Dungy, he wasn't there when they won the Super Bowl, but he should have gotten the Super Bowl ring because he built the defense that really shut down the Raiders in that game. But the thing I want to show you guys here, I've got to stop sharing and get my video thing going here, because this is one of my favorite. It's actually, I have an NFL playlist, and this is the video that is on the top of that playlist. It is the moment that I knew that the Buccaneers were going to the Super Bowl, and it was against the Philadelphia Eagles. Poor McNabb fell victim to these guys, and it was Rondé Barber that did it in this game. He really did. Watch this. Is there anything better than NFL Films music?
We can't hear anything.
Yeah,
you can't hear it?
We could see it, but we couldn't hear it, which may not be a bad thing if you're.
That's fine.
Hold it. You can't hear it? Did I not check the box? Oh, no. You need to hear this. because the music is half of it. No, it's. Oh, I see what's up here. I didn't. I'm sorry. I apologize, guys. Here you go. You got to be able to hear it. Let me run this back for pure enjoyment.
As night fell on a city of brotherly love, it became evident that the Bucks' curse was dying. Rondé Barber
sounds like
sought
John
to kill
may
it
not
for
be
good.
here.
Here's the snap. McNabb dropping under pressure. His ball not going.
Barber's lightning quick blitz stripped the Eagles of the ball and whatever momentum they had.
It's ruled a fumble, and the Bucks have it. Rondé Barber forces the fumble. And Ellis Wims gobbles up that big kid and says, it's mine, I got it.
By the end of the third,
the old man
Johnson and company were in complete control. Wearing gloves for the first time in his career, Johnson drove Tampa Bay toward a lead-stretching field goal.
One of the few quarterbacks that's thrown a touchdown pass to himself.
Yep.
A 27-yard field goal is in. High snap. Look out. Here's the kick. Airborne. Martin Gramatica has got another one. It's good.
Here it is.
It was worry time.
Automatica.
As Rondé Barber would turn into full-blown panic.
I mean, he was the MVP of this game.
3:27 to go. McNabb dropping. That's it. And the 10 to the 20. Going coast to coast. Rondé Barber. To the 50, to the 40, Barber to the 30. Nobody's going to touch him. Rondé Barber, 10-5, touchdown, Tampa Bay. A 95-yard interception return. Bucks lead 26-10.
At the snap, Barber had shown blitz once again, but instead of rushing McNabb, he peeled back into coverage, putting himself in prime position for the interception.
Poor McNabb, man. Oh, he never could get it done, dude. Never could. Of course, he had the misfortune of running into, the Patriots when he finally made it to the Super Bowl. So, and arguably, Adam Vinatieri could be argued that he was the MVP of those first Super Bowls for the Patriots, really. But yeah. But anyway, I just had to share that because that's the top of my NFL list of highlights that I have because I love this guy when he played. I thought he was awesome. I love great cornerbacks. Deion's my favorite one that ever played, but this guy was fantastic. The next guy we want to talk about, hang on, let me get, I've got to switch here. Let's see, here it is. Okay, the next guy we've got is, I can't believe this man was not in the damn Hall of Fame yet. Don Coryell, the father of the modern passing game, finally gets into the Hall of Fame posthumously. He's been gone for many years, but let's see. NFL head coach 1974, seasons 14, career record, but won 5 division titles. But what he's best known for, boys and girls, and everybody in this panel can tell you, every one of these guys that you think is just a complete genius, including Andy Reid, they pull everything out of this guy's playbook when it comes to the passing game.
Oh, yeah.
He is the father of the modern passing game. Dan Fouts flourished in his system for years, set all kinds of records, and I just can't believe it took this long to get him in the Hall. It's ridiculous that it took that long for this guy to get in. The next guy we want to look at is, let's see, let me get it up here. Chuck Howley. He was Dallas Cowboy. He's going in as Cowboy. All NFL selections 5 times, 25 interceptions from the linebacker position. That's pretty damn good.
Yep.
6 Pro Bowls, 15 seasons, and Super Bowl MVP. I believe that was in a losing record in Super Bowl 5, I think. Wasn't that the Colts? The turnover game, basically? Wasn't that the Colts Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl? I think that was. I'd have to look that up. But I do remember that. Yeah, check it for me real quick, John. But I'm pretty sure that's the one that they lost to the Colts. Pretty sure. But yeah, this guy, he was a great linebacker back in the day, and it was it wasn't Doomsday Defense yet. I don't think that was the Doomsday Defense he was on. If he was on it, he was on it as a veteran,
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Did you find anything?
Super Bowl 5? Looking.
Okay. Let me see if I can find it. I'm just wondering if I'm completely out of my mind.
I got thinking about Ronnie Barber, which made me think of Tiki. If Tiki had played one more year, I don't know if he'd been in the Hall of Fame or not, but he had a Super Bowl.
Right.
And
yeah, it was the Colts Cowboys Super Bowl, and the Colts won that one. Yeah.
Okay.
He was the MVP on a losing team. Yeah. That's the one, guys, where the Colts won that game 16-13, and I don't know exactly how many turnovers. Super Bowl record 11 turnovers in that game. It was one of the sloppiest Super Bowls ever played. And he was the MVP. Pretty amazing stuff to be the MVP of a losing football team. Yeah, this was pre-Doomsday. This is before Ed Too Tall Jones and all that stuff. But yeah, great player. Great player. And then, of course, and he's one of two Cowboys going in. Now, this guy right here, of course, I hate the New York Jets with a passion. I've told you guys before, my dad's from Boston. I root for the Seahawks, but everybody in my family roots for the Boston Patriots, the New England Patriots, whatever you want to call them. So we can't stand this team right here. But if I can get this thing in here, why is it? Okay, this thing's glitching out like a son of a gun. Let's see if I can get it in there. Is it going to work? Well, shoot. Can you guys see that?
Nope. We just see the logo.
Okay. Do you see how it just flashed in there?
Yeah, we saw how it was doing the
StreamYards is acting up.
Yeah.
StreamYards is acting up. Let me go ahead and try and reshare it one more time. If not, we will just cuss and discuss who these guys are. There we go. Joe Klecko. When you look at the Hall of Fame's announcement and they show the positions, he's listed as a defensive end, a defensive tackle, and a nose tackle. He played every position on the defensive line. This guy is part of the New York Sack Exchange. I hate the Jets, but I had much respect for this dude right here. A lot of people remember Mark Gastineau off that defense. This dude was better than Gastineau. That's just all there is to it, because half the time he was getting double teamed in the trenches. He was an All-Pro 2 years, 81 and 85. Defensive Player of the Year in 81, 4 Pro Bowls, and 12 seasons. And this guy was something else. He was a force to be reckoned with on the defensive line for the New York Jets for a long time. The next one we want to look at,
I imagine the further back you go in NFL history, those Hall of Fame players will probably be at multiple positions.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
They didn't have enough people to fill the team, so they
had
to play.
Right, had to move them around. The next one is another Jet, and this usually happens when you have one of the, this is why they put the Jets in that game in Canton here on Thursday. They have another one, Darrelle Revis. Revis Island is going into the Hall of Fame. First ballot, I'm pretty sure, right, guys? He didn't quit playing too long ago.
He's only like 37, 38, something like that.
I don't think this is first ballot.
It's pretty close. He didn't quit too long ago. But
we had Revis Island in Kansas City for a year.
Yes, you did. New England had him for a little bit too. He bounced around a little bit at the end, but he played most of his career with the Jets. And 29 interceptions. That just shows you right there. This guy was better than Rondé Barber at cornerback. But Barber thrived so much in that friggin' system that Tony Dungy had come up with. 45 is the number that Barber had. But
the other thing, I mean, you gotta remember that Revis Island was because he shut them down. Which means
he completely shut them down.
Yeah,
so they weren't even throwing to his side of the field.
If the ball never comes your way, you're not going to get interceptions. So
that's what I'm saying. He is a better corner than Rondé was, no doubt. He got 29 interceptions, 7 Pro Bowls, 11 seasons, 496 tackles. Jesus Christ, that's a lot. That's a big number from the cornerback position right there.
Oh yeah.
one of the greats, one of the best that's ever done it, if you ask me, from the cornerback position. You guys know me. I love defense. It's my favorite side of the ball, and great corners are rare, and this guy's one of them. He really is. I enjoyed the hell out of watching him play, even though he played for a shitty fucking franchise. Anyway, Darrelle Revis, good to see him going in.
You missed Chuck
the next
Howley.
one. What's that?
You missed Chuck Howley.
No, I didn't. I talked about Chuck Howley. He was the MVP of the Super Bowl for
You're right. Yeah.
Cowboys.
Sorry. My brain just blanked.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to be the champ. We know. Don't worry. You've got Kansas City on the brain 24/7. I know. This is another cornerback that played, when I was a kid, man. This is Ken Riley for the Cincinnati Bengals. He played when they had Bengals written on the side of an orange helmet. That's how far back he goes. He actually played as a veteran on Joe Montana's first Super Bowl winning team. He was a cornerback for the Bengals for many, many years. 15 seasons, 65 interceptions. That's a big number. Jesus Christ. Wow.
During a time period where they didn't throw as much as they do now.
No, they ran the football more back then, and especially the Bengals. They were never, but
seeing how many interceptions, I could see why they didn't throw that often.
Right?
Stop attempting. Stop it.
Right? Stop it. Start running the ball. But anyway, yeah, it's good to see Riley going in. And then my wife's favorite guy going in this year, and he's actually going to lead off the show when they do the inductions. And Jimmy Johnson is inducting him, Zach Thomas, the guy from Texas Tech. The whole reason why my wife roots for the Miami Dolphins, I remember when she started watching football, she said, I don't know who to root for. And I kind of like the Dolphins, kind of like the, Atlanta Falcons, because her dad lived in Atlanta. And I said, well, if you like the Dolphins, that'd be a good one for you. She goes, why is that? And I said, well, one of her favorite sayings is, dynamite comes in small packages. And this guy was like 5'10" playing middle linebacker. And, I told her about him and she said, yeah, I'm going to root for the Dolphins. And she fell in love with him and his brother-in-law, Jason Taylor, and, all that stuff. This guy, small in stature, but big in heart, man. This guy, he was a killer on the football field.
The Rudy of the middle line.
Yes, absolutely. He's the Rudy of the NFL, no doubt. Let's see. NFL, AFC Defensive Rookie of the Year in 1996. Played in 5 Pro Bowls, he was All-Pro 5 times, 7 Pro Bowls, 13 seasons he played. And with his height and his size, it's amazing he played 13 years at that position, because you usually, look at Ray Lewis. People arguably say he's maybe the best that ever played at that position. He was huge. He was a mammoth human being. This guy was like half his size. So it's good to see Zach Thomas going in. And then you've got Joe Thomas. Now, at the turn of the century, my man, who's already in the Hall of Fame, Walter Jones, was the standard at left tackle, and this guy took over in the teens. The entire last decade, I'd say at the end of the aughts, into the teens, this guy was the standard at left tackle, playing on a bad football team. It wasn't because of him. The quarterback never got blindsided when this guy was playing. Consecutive snaps played, 10,363. That shit is unheard of from a friggin' offensive lineman. That is insane. NFL All-Decade Team, 2010s, Pro Bowls 10, and he went to the Pro Bowl every year he was in the league except one.
Except his rookie year.
Crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Joe Thomas, one of the greats that ever played this game, and I hate to see guys like him that never even sniffed a ring. I don't even know that he played in a playoff game. I don't think the Browns ever made the playoffs.
Was it the Derek Anderson one? I think I don't know if they made the playoffs here. They went 10-6, I think it was. Yeah. I don't think they made the playoffs.
Yeah. I don't think he ever played in a playoff game, but this guy was fantastic. He really was. Joe Thomas makes it in the Hall. And then someone that I'm sure Knock loves to death. He was on the Super Bowl winning team for the Broncos the last time out.
Got us over the hump.
He got you. He did get you over the hump. Von Miller was on that team, but they needed somebody to take the heat off of him. somebody else for them to worry about, and they signed veteran DeMarcus Ware after he left the Cowboys.
Iron shaping iron.
That's it, man. Definitely. All pro 4 years. Pro Bowls 9 sacks. Come on, man. 138.5 sacks. That's an insane number, man. 12 seasons he played. That means he averaged more than 10 sacks a fucking season. That's insane.
Yeah.
This guy right here, man. And of course, like I said, he helped lead the Broncos. He helped push Peyton Manning's wheelchair across the finish line to get him his last Super Bowl.
Talk about a guy that you like, that like you just said with Zach Thomas, that never sniffs a ring,
right?
With the Cowboys,
and then
came over to Denver,
if he'd have stayed in Dallas, he'd have never seen one, never, and was a great player for them, coming out of a college that really not famous for putting pros in the NFL. Troy, of all places, he played for. This guy was something else. I enjoyed watching him.
Ariel, the 0.5 comes from if two people sack the quarterback.
If two people make it to the quarterback at the same time, they give them half a sack. That's what happens there. Yeah, absolutely. But anyway, that's your class of 2023. That's what we got this year. So, looking forward to it. What's the rundown? We got the game on Thursday, right? And the dinner's on Friday. Is the inductions on Saturday? Is that when they're doing it?
If I remember right, the inductions on Saturday.
Okay. And so looking forward to this weekend. Looking forward to watching. I don't think we're going to see Aaron Rodgers in that game. I really don't.
Especially after Joe Burrow's going down.
Yeah, they're going to be protecting the veteran quarterbacks that really don't need the work. I got a feeling. But
he ever played in preseason?
Right, he usually sits out. Right, him and Favre, they're known for that shit. So, but thoughts about the upcoming season, guys? What do you think? First of all, are you going to watch the Hall of Fame game? I am.
I'll probably have it going. Yeah. I won't watch the whole thing because it's going to be going too late. It'll be my bedtime. So
you've got to work on Friday. Yeah, absolutely.
So I'll catch this. I'll catch some of it and then go to sleep and then watch the
watch the
highlights, the lowlights,
with the fourth stringers. Right? Yeah.
I'll watch the replay because Thursdays is my D&D night, except when the Chiefs play.
Yeah.
Then I cancel the game.
Let's talk about the upcoming season. It looks like with some of the movement in the offseason and stuff like that, it really not that. It's more been the lower echelon guys, the in the trenches guys moving around a lot. What really struck me was how many, and you spoke to it already, Knock. The running back position is not a premium anymore. A lot of these teams did not sign their guys. They didn't do it at the deadline.
Honestly, they're more concerned about getting 3 wide receivers than they are getting 1 running back.
Yeah.
That's the norm now.
There must be a glut of talent at the running back position that they can draw from. That's all I can think. And the good wide receivers are rare. For some reason, they are rare these days.
Did I see that the Chiefs picked up Melvin Gordon? Was that who picked up Melvin Gordon? I can't remember.
Melvin
he got
Gordon
signed somewhere.
I don't think we grabbed him.
You talking about the running back?
Yeah. Big Fumblester.
Yeah. Mr. Fumble.
It's like the Ravens got him.
Raven, that's right. Okay. So that'll be fun. I hope they.
Will you be having a stream on Saturday for the Hall of Fame? No. We're just doing a preview of the Hall of Fame weekend. And then our next stream for this show will be the Sunday before opening weekend. That's when we're going to do all of our predictions, all that good stuff. We're going to predict and I took notes on this last year. I was way off. Knock was closer than I was, but I don't think either one of us got the Super Bowl right, did we? I don't think we did.
I don't have my notes anymore.
Yeah, I got rid of all that shit, but I was really off.
I did pretty good for my playoffs, I think.
Yeah, you did pretty good. But that'll be the next time we get together. But
So that'll be the Sunday before the 7th.
Yep. Yep.
So that is
should be the last day of
September 1st.
September 1st? Okay. So that's when we're going to get together again. And that's when we're going to make our division picks, wild card picks, and our Super Bowl picks. We're gonna do all that in that show, and we're also going to talk about who went down in the preseason, who looks good in the preseason, who doesn't, that kind of thing, and all the news,
the position battles and stuff like
that.
Yeah,
absolutely. Because some teams, I mean, like I'm sure we're going to see some talk out of San Francisco. Because you got Purdy and you got whatever Trey Lance. So they're going to be battling
all the rookies looked, in the preseason. You got a plethora of them out there.
Yeah, you do. You got
in the top 5. They all got quarterbacks. So
but immediate reactions from me as far as the offseason, some of these teams. Well, I can speak about the Seahawks. I don't see us making a lot of noise. I think we're going to end up either second or third behind the Niners. I think it's the Niners division to lose. When it comes to the East, I think that's a lock. I don't think anybody's going to stop the Eagles from winning that division. I think what's going to be interesting. Go ahead.
The only other question with the Eagles would be them losing both of their coordinators at the same time.
That's true. That's true. We're going to see what kind of continuity they have with the head coach, no doubt. See how he fills those positions. Yeah.
Coordinators come in. We'll do exactly what we did last year.
Right?
Okay, guys, got it? All right.
It's not hard. Be Barry Switzer. Channel your inner Barry Switzer and just go do what you do. Let's go do it, I mean, he rode that shit to a Super Bowl with the Dallas Cowboys, with Jimmy Johnson's team. You know what I mean? And everybody's like, yeah, hey, Barry Switzer's a fucking genius. He didn't chase a fucking thing. Okay?
Yep.
Now, I can say that because I'm a Boomer Sooner fan. He won a lot of championships for me. But anyway, I don't see, the Giants aren't going to challenge him. The Redskins, it's going to be interesting to see their progression. Okay? They were a thorn in a lot of sides last year in a lot of games. They never really got blown out, and they're the one team that beat the Eagles last year. So it's going to be interesting to see if they take the next step and start making some noise in the division. I'd love to see them get a wild card spot. I would love to see that kind of progression because I'm a Ron Rivera. I'm a defensive guy. I love Ron Rivera. Yeah. He's a defensive minded coach. I'd love to see that team make that leap. But it's up in the air whether we're going to see it or not. But the big thorn in their side is gone. I don't think you guys can understand the magnitude of Daniel Snyder being out of the NFL.
It took $4 billion to get rid of him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, $4 billion. Yeah.
God, man.
Well, he sold it for $6 billion, and then he got slapped with a $60 million fine.
Yeah,
it was probably because that came out the same exact day that he sold the team, like officially. Yep. So that must have been.
It almost overshadowed the fact that it was sold. I was like, geez, why isn't that?
It was definitely part of a deal. It's like, yeah, we're going to let you sell the team, but we're going to fine your ass too. And he's like, all right,
you're right. Your ass. It was $6 billion. So sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't get my head around that amount of money for a sports franchise.
The Broncos went for 4.5. I think
I was fixing to say the NFL. It's just going up exponentially.
Yeah, it's a good investment. I think what did he get it for? Dan Snyder, I think got it for.
It was in the millions. When he got it, I think it was in the millions. I don't even think it was billion yet.
Yeah, so he definitely got it.
So
I think it was
he made money.
But
he made money from that deal, no doubt. But Dallas. I'm sorry, man. They sell jerseys. I just it's a jersey factory. I just don't see it. Just don't see it. This guy that's running their offense. Everybody thinks he's the greatest coordinator in the world. I'm sorry, I just don't see it.
Oh no, he's not there anymore. Kellen Moore.
He's not.
He's in Los Angeles. He's a Charger. He's with the Chargers now. He got fired. They let him go, and then literally the next day he was a Charger. He got signed rickety split. So yeah, he's going to be making offensive decisions for the Chargers coming up.
He's going to be making offensive decisions for the Chargers. It just gets worse for my man, dude. It just gets worse for. I love Herbert, dude. I just dig him. I think the guy's great, and
I have a soft spot for Kellen Moore because he was a Boise State Bronco and probably one of the best quarterbacks they've had so far. But
right, nah. We'll see.
I think he beat the Oklahoma Sooners. Was that the game he was there for?
That was not him.
No, that was it. I think it was
no, sir. That was not him. That dude ended up on the cover of the fucking college game the next year.
Zabransky.
Stop. What?
This is what I'm here for. This is what I'm here for. This is my place on this show. I'm very happy to have it. It's a great time.
I totally forgot that both Zabransky and Peyton Hillis have made covers of video games.
Yes, Peyton Hillis. I've got the box.
That was
back here.
that was with the Browns. Yeah, but
was Peyton Hillis was voted onto the cover of the Madden game.
It was a great year for him. It was a great season.
Yeah, one season with the Browns, right? But when it comes to the East, I just don't see it. It's Eagles all the way. The North should be the Vikings, but let's hope the Lions can continue to build.
The Lions need to start off fast. They always start out really slow, and then they peak up at the end of the season. But they need to start out fast. That's good. And of course, we say that, and then who they're playing the first game of the season in prime time?
They're playing the fucking Chiefs. How did that happen?
Like that? Yeah, that's so bad. Like I don't know who scheduled that, but that sucks.
That does suck. They should have been playing the Raiders opening day. If you want to throw them a bone, throw them the Raiders.
Yeah.
Trust me. That idiot jabroni playing for the freaking Raiders is going to throw 3 interceptions to him. Trust me on that.
We're always happy to destroy the Raiders.
But, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Does it have to be the Lions, man? Because you want to come out fast. And if they manage to do it somehow,
dude, if they pull it off, whoo!
Just no one sees it.
Look Vikings.
The game we lost last year, don't you?
No.
Freaking Indiana.
Indianapolis
Colts beat us.
Yeah.
The only game we lost last year was Indianapolis.
Yeah, but the way the Lions finished up, they're not going to go to sleep on them dudes. I really don't think so. They're going to go after Goff,
dude. Let's hope for a shootout.
Let's hope. But it should be the Vikings to win there. But there's no telling. That with Aaron Rodgers gone, there's no telling who's going to step up and take command of that division. Yeah. And the South, that's the Saints. That is all I can tell you is that is the Saints friggin' division to lose.
Yeah.
The Cardinals, the Atlanta Falcons are in disarray. The Buccaneers are fixing to be in disarray.
I gotta say the Vikings have it just because of the amount of games they'll win.
The Vikings,
they're good for 10, 11 games.
They've got a great home field advantage in that dome.
Yeah, I just because they might not be quality wins, but they'll get a lot of wins.
Yeah,
and then that'll be enough to 9-7 or 9-8 or 10-7 will be enough for them to win the division.
With the Panthers, the big question mark will be Bryce Young, just because will he be able to stay healthy because he's not a big guy either.
Yeah, John, you were about to say something.
Yeah, I forgot we lost 3 games because I blanked 2 of them out of my memory.
Did you?
It's easy to do that. Who did they lose to, John?
Probably Bills down the stretch. They probably benched everybody.
No, Bengals.
No, we lost to the Bills and Bengals at home.
Bengals got you guys' number for the most part. So.
And the Broncos actually showed up against the Chiefs last year.
Yeah, we just couldn't do anything offensively, so it just defense did okay. But
that's going to change this year. They're going to do something offensively this year.
I'm hoping.
So
no, we lost to the Bengals in Bagel Stadium, and we lost to the Bills at home.
Okay. Huh. Well,
anything is better than last year. That's all I'm saying. Like we can only go up from here on offense. So.
Yeah. Yeah. But take
There's
a step
only 3
forward.
games I'm worried about for our team this year, and that's the Bills, the Bengals, and the Eagles.
Wow, you got to play the Eagles.
They're coming home.
What are our divisions this year that we got to play?
I don't know, but let's finish up with the South. You think the Panthers are going to be the headache this year?
I think the Panthers could come in second.
Yeah,
could finish ahead of the Falcons.
Yeah. I see the Falcons in that last spot again. I think the Buccaneers will fall down to third, and the Panthers, because traditionally they've usually got a pretty good defense, so that's good for some wins. I think it's with a trigger man that is an upgrade with the kind of defense you guys have. I think it's your division to lose. That's what I think.
Oh man, we faced the NFC North. Okay.
Do you? Wow. How fortuitous for you guys in the West, huh? No Aaron Rodgers to face.
Was it what are
You
the
can go into Lambeau and stomp a mud hole in those bitches, man.
So the AFC East and the NFC North, there's the two divisions that we play this season. Okay. With some sprinkling. So that's cool. We have a pretty good season. It'll be fun to look over when we do the pre.
So in the West,
big show.
I mean, I hate it for you, Knock, but until Mahomes gets taken off on a stretcher, I'm going to give him the division every year.
Yeah, he'll get the division. But looking at our schedule, man, we have a chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah, you do, and you should. You should, because you should have a last place schedule, pretty much, and you got a definite upgrade at the head coach, because the Peyton is going to get every stinking drop he can get out of Wilson. He's going to know exactly what to do with him. That's a guy that doesn't have a system. He coaches to the talent he has. So
I'm curious who's going to be our Taysom Hill or Darren Sproles.
Right, he's always got that X factor guy that's going to just give the other team a headache, man. Yeah, no doubt. That's going to be interesting to see who that's going to be. Who that Swiss Army knife is going to be on that team. Yeah, no doubt. But I think you guys will end up second behind them with the upgraded head coach. Because your defense is still good, you know me, man. I'm always going to lean towards good defense. Raiders and Chargers. Chargers would be third. Raiders are going to suck. The Garoppolo. Look, all you need to know about Garoppolo is his head coach in a Super Bowl didn't run a 2-minute offense with him down the stretch before the half against the Chiefs. He let that clock run out. He knew something about that guy that we don't know, that he's going to, and if you've watched him, he is not the greatest quarterback in the world. I know the story is that Belichick was all pissed off when they got rid of him, because he was going to groom him to take over for Brady. I just don't believe that shit. I think he didn't really give a shit if he left or not. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, the Raiders will be last in that division as far as I'm concerned. The South, does it matter? I mean, I guess it will matter if the Jaguars win that division.
It's going to be between the Jaguars and Titans. Titans are always going to be they're just going to be boring and win games.
I think if the Titans win it again, just write them off, but the Jaguars could be interesting. If they win that division, that could be interesting.
I think it'll be the Jags winning that division.
Yeah. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see a changing of the guard in that division. I hate it for Vrabel,
but Trevor Lawrence can't be throwing 4 interceptions in a game and always expect to come back and win them. So
no, he can't. He can't. But he's still. That's only. We've only seen 2 years.
Well, we've really only seen 1 year because that first year was
last year. That was it. Because the year before he wasn't really being coached. Let's see, the East. Well, it's Buffalo's, man. I mean, Miami, they can put all the stuff around Tua they want, but until Tua makes it through a 16-game schedule, it's Buffalo's. I mean, they're going to win games, dude. If for no other reason where they play, when it comes to November and December, they're going to win games. Nobody wants to go up there.
You're really writing off the Jets, aren't you?
Why would I think the Jets are going to do anything? Why would I think that?
Why not?
What do you mean? Why
Aaron Rodgers?
Man,
Aaron Rodgers not the missing piece there. You don't think he can make it work? He's got his coach back. He got the round hole and the round peg, and this, right. This is all coming together. You got Saleh as the defensive guy, and you got the mastermind with Rodgers. Why not?
Yeah. Let me see. Aaron Rodgers Super Bowl. Excuse me for a second.
Now, the Jet, if there was a Super Bowl for like drama, the Jets might win it.
He'd win it every year, no doubt. Let's see. That was in 2005. That was damn near 20 years ago. They're not going anywhere, Doc. That bunch is snake bit. He is not taking that team nowhere. Mark my words. They're not winning the division. They're not going to make any noise in that division. They're not going to make a wild card. I would buy the Miami Dolphins going as a wild card again before I buy those guys. Okay? Sorry.
I don't know, but I mean, so here's the thing. What has he always not had? He's never had a good defense until that Super Bowl, or since that Super Bowl. What do we complain about his wide receivers every single year? Besides Devontae Adams, he's never had consistently good wide receiver. They never drafted him, and now he's got a number one, or top 5 wide receiver pick or whatever he was, Garrett Wilson, who's already showing off in training camp. So I mean, I'm just saying there's a chance. I'm not saying it's going to happen.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Exactly.
Well, it's a chance. I know the history of that team, and I could see another butt fumble coming a mile away. They are snake bit, bro. No other franchise is snake bit like that one, except for maybe the Browns. That's about the only one that can challenge the Jets for being snake bit. Joe Namath is not walking through that door, and his name's not Aaron Rodgers. I'm sorry. He's just not. Okay, so Buffalo, maybe Miami making some noise, but like I said, I just don't see that kid making an entire year. Does anybody think that Tua is going to make the whole year? No. Yeah. So it's Buffalo.
He holds on to the ball too long.
He does.
He's too indecisive to.
Yeah. He needs to learn how to get rid of that ball quicker.
He can have all the time in the world, but then he just holds on to it, and then he'll get sacked, and then he'll get hurt. So.
The North.
And with him having Tyreek Hill and Waddle, if he can just get the ball out.
Yeah.
He's not going to overthrow them a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's not. He's not. But like I said, unless he can stand up for 16 games, how you can put your hat in their ring, ring in their hat, you can't do it. The North, as much as I hate to say it, it's the Ravens. We know that guy's a Superman in friggin' regular season.
Barring
Lamar will. Barring. Go ahead.
Barring Burrow, his calf.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it could be the Bengals. It's going to come down to those two, but and I don't think the window's closing on the Bengals at all. It's just starting the season with a lower, the foundation injury. That's just going to get worse during the season. I mean,
yeah, they might have a slow start, but I think
unless your name's Patrick Mahomes.
What's that? Unless your name's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. Just but a flesh wound.
It's but a flesh wound. It'll be fine.
Go out there on one leg. That's okay. He only needs one.
I'm just saying, we all know that Lamar Jackson puts up ungodly numbers week to week during the regular season. Now, when he gets to the playoffs, he'll choke like he always does.
If he's still fantasy football.
If he's there. If
he's there. Yeah.
The Ravens did have a Pro Bowl quarterback last year.
That's true. They did.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Brett Hundley made the quarterback.
Yeah,
Brett Hundley made.
He was in the Hall of Fame, or not Hall of Fame. The
that
Pro Bowl,
that friggin' Packers cast off made it to the Pro Bowl last year.
Yeah, he made it as an alternate. One of the other fellas didn't want to go, so he stepped in. I can't remember who he replaced.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. But anyway, all right, the rest of you heard my thoughts. What are your impressions of the upcoming season? Go, Knock. What you got?
Just excited to see what my team can do. It's I'm also going to be paying attention to college football as well. It was a lot of fun I learned a lot last year. It was my first real year of paying attention to college football, and still learning all the teams and teams that are moving over to different conferences, learning the conferences. So just a lot of learning for that. And then after this year, they have the 12-team playoffs. This is the last
year. This is the last one.
Year they have the 14 playoffs. So that I think I came into it at the perfect time. And
yeah, man, looking forward to them broadening that playoff, dude.
So we all know, especially in college football, number 12 is probably never going to win, but you never know,
dude. Well, this is the thing, and I've said this for years. They have so many fucking bowl games. Why wouldn't you have a huge playoff? I mean, why wouldn't you do that? And I know what it is. It's money. It's certain conferences have automatic.
Well, that's the thing. They've already, with the bowl, they're all going to be bowl games. All the playoff games are going to rotate them.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know why they didn't make these bowl games matter and put teams, to have a playoff like that. I think it's a genius move. It's going to get me watching it because I never watched it before. The only thing I watched was the national championship just to see who won it, just to see the event.
I just I would always see the scores of the because the best thing about college football is the upsets, and that's when I would tune in. When I saw a top 15 team losing to an unranked team, I would tune in for the game and see if they pulled it off.
Right,
because that's always history. That's always history.
Well,
when Alabama loses, it is history.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? The sickest one I saw that Alabama lost though was because of that guy's. Where is he? That guy right down there's team. That friggin' what was it? Was it a blocked field goal?
No, it was the field goal didn't make it. He caught it in the end zone.
It was a field goal return.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I remember that, man. That was so fucking funny. I laughed my ass off. Real quick, Ariel says, isn't college football have a few different rules in the NFL?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Pretty much the really big ones are these. The clock stops on a first down. So they get kind of mini timeouts during drives.
Well, I think that's changing within the 5 minutes, right?
That's changing this year.
Is it changing this year?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So they're not going to get a timeout with first down.
They're trying to shorten up college games a little bit.
I think
that's a good way to do it.
I think the last 2 minutes of every quarter or every half still can do that though.
Is that right?
We'll still get the first down.
But leading up to that 2 minute mark, they're not going to do it? Okay.
But the reason why they're having to shorten up college games is because of the dumbass refs who will spend 10 minutes looking at a replay.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Over a play that doesn't even matter half the time.
Doesn't even matter half the time.
I think that was one of the things that got showcased in the XFL and the USFL is how quickly the command center, they went over the replay as soon as the play ends. They're looking at it, and then if there's any question about it, they'll be like, "Okay,
I like New York being involved with the videotape.
They're right there, they're right there, just looking over it right there. And then if there's any question about it, the refs will stop it and be like, "Hey, is there anything going on?" No, we're good.
I say New York, it's LA now for the NFL. I forgot about that. It's LA now.
So I just think it's one of those things where we need more. We need more of that.
Yeah,
and NFL, where it's quick and they're already right as soon as the gate.
And in college football would be on the conference to take care of that, right? I would imagine.
Yeah, they do it on the conference level. But I did want to correct something I said earlier. Brett Hundley did not make the Pro Bowl. Tyler Huntley from the Ravens.
Tyler Huntley.
So both were on the roster, but Tyler Huntley was the one that made the Pro Bowl, and that's with 2 touchdowns and 3 picks.
To finish up this, another big one in college that's different between college and pro football, and it's a huge one. When catching a ball, you only have to have 1 foot in bounds in college football. Yep. Okay, yep. You have to have both down in bounds in the pros, and it's a big difference. Let me tell you. Yeah. Huge difference. Those are the 2 big differences in
overtime
in
rules as well.
Overtime rule. Yeah. Well, listen to me. Yeah, that's the biggest difference. Is they used to have sudden death in the NFL, but each team gets a possession unless the first team scores a touchdown in the NFL.
That's what it
now.
It
used to be that way. I guess they've changed.
Is that still the case in the regular season?
That should be the case. I don't know.
I think in the postseason is when you get both gets a chance, even if it's
which is bullshit. Anyway, sudden death should be pro foot. Yep. It's pro football. It's not college. It's not high school. Win in fucking regulation if you want to win a goddamn game. If you get to overtime, fuck you. The first team that scores wins, as far as I'm concerned.
In college football, overtime is a complete joke. Like now, if they get to like I think the third overtime.
Yeah, third is when they just start going for 2.
You have to start going for 2 every time.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's if they get to the second overtime when you score a touchdown, you have to go for 2.
Yeah.
Beginning with the third overtime, I think the only thing you do is go for 2. It's each team gets 1 play.
Yeah.
It's the most.
Yeah,
it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah, I remember
these games go on forever.
Well, I think they was like, oh, it's the record of most overtimes. I was like, well, yeah, it's because of a new rule.
Yeah, it's because they only have to get in from the fucking 2-yard line. It's ridiculous.
Well, either both teams get it or both teams don't get it, and then it can just keep going and going and going.
If it goes through 5 overtimes, you have to throw the ball through a hole. No, I'm joking, but it might as well be a skills competition.
Right? They go to an NHL type shootout. That's what they do. Yeah. But okay, thanks, Knock. I appreciate it. What do you think? Their small time republic. What do you think about the new season? I know you're excited for your Saints. I'm sure.
You talking about for NFL? Yeah. I mean, I think it's probably going to come down to the Chiefs and the Eagles again. I mean, I know that's kind of the easy pick, but I don't know.
The only teams that can knock them off, if you ask me, are well, AFC. There's a couple of teams that could knock the Chiefs off. Bengals and Bills could definitely do it.
And a healthy Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. Now the Niners can beat the Eagles. I actually thought they were going to beat them last year, but they lost their quarterback and it was over. But that's the only guys that I see slowing down the friggin' Eagles, man.
I just love the Niners offense. That's all I know.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It is a beautiful thing to watch. They have a fullback. He's a dangerous person,
Yeah. He played quarterback, I think, a little bit in that last game.
Yeah, he did. In the last game, he did.
Yeah.
I mean, their offense is so smash mouth and physical that it's just fun to watch. And look, the top 2 teams in the NFC are like that. Both of them will punch you in the mouth on offense. And that's why they're so scary, But yeah, as far as your Saints go, I'm excited to watch them play. We get every game here. Well, I say we get every game here. You probably get more Saints games than we do because I'm actually in like the Shreveport, Texas market. We're actually closer to Dallas than we are to New Orleans. It's 5 hours to New Orleans from here, and it's only 3 hours to Dallas.
I'm like 2 hours from New Orleans and like 5 hours from Atlanta.
So you probably get more Saints games than anything else, right?
I actually shelled out for the NFL Sunday ticket this year, so
did you?
I'll get to watch whatever I want. So
now is that on YouTube this year?
Yeah, it's on YouTube TV.
Okay, all right. But there's certain times during the year when the Cowboys and the Saints play in the same time slot. Excuse me, they flip flop. 1 week. Excuse me. It's the Saints. The next time it happens, it'll be the Cowboys. And the other fan base is just fucking livid in this town, man. They lose their fucking minds. They really do. There's a reason why you see the Cowboys play the Saints every year now. It's become a fucking border rivalry that is probably the biggest in the NFL. As far as border rivalries go, it's probably the biggest one. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, guys, you talk to any Saints fan that lives in Louisiana, they want to go to that game every year. It's the hottest ticket all year long for a regular season game for the Saints or the Cowboys is to go, except for maybe Thanksgiving for the Cowboys. Okay. They all want to go to that Saints fucking game or that, the Saints Cowboys game. They all want to go to that. And it's really cool. It's fun to watch. It really is. Because there's definite bragging rights going on, man. I mean, they lose that game for a year. My brother hears it in the fucking plant he works at all year round because he's a Saints fan that lives in Dallas. So if they lose to Dallas, man, he gets to hear it for an entire fucking year until they play again. So. But okay, Matt. Thanks, man. I think your team's going to win their division. I really hope you don't get snake bit, and I'm looking forward to it. Yo, champ, what you looking forward to? I think I know.
Yeah, it'll be nice to repeat.
Yeah,
that's the goal.
Yeah.
But
down with the dynasty.
Down with the dynasty.
We understand we're the hated team right now. We're the We're
you are now the
Patriots.
Yes, you are. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we hated them enough that we became them. So
yes.
Mm-hmm. We're the Dolphins that.
What's the line? What's the line from Batman? You live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Villain, yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, well, yeah, we are. That's fine. Yeah, we'll take as long as we keep winning. You can hate us all you want.
You were supposed to destroy the Sith.
You were the chosen one. You're supposed to destroy the Sith.
We do have. Like I said, we've got to deal with Buffalo, and we got to deal with Cincinnati. Those are the two in conference rivals we have to deal with, and of course we got to play the Eagles again. Except they got to come to our house.
Yeah.
And try and win.
Yeah.
So
but I wouldn't look forward to that, bro. I really
no.
wouldn't.
It's gonna.
That team's gonna be pissed.
Oh yeah.
Just because of what Knock was talking about earlier, that holding penalty, they remember that. Yeah, they're gonna be mad. They're gonna be looking to prove something, man. You know that. Shit, that's gonna be a great game to watch, dude.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be.
And then just watch the week before Jalen Hurts gets hurt, and then a game doesn't matter anymore. Wouldn't that be a big robbery?
God, that would suck.
Yeah, it would.
Something happens so that it just kind of it makes that game irrelevant.
Right.
I want the teams at their best.
Me too.
Right?
That's what I want to see. Yes, absolutely. And believe it or not, I'm actually pulling for the Browns to get a few wins, man. I really am. I'm a closet case Browns fan. My favorite color is orange, so I'm always going to root for them. I don't want them to go to the Super Bowl or anything, but I'd like to see them win some games. But yeah, man. Okay. Well, the champ is going to keep champing. Yeah. Gotcha.
Try.
Gotcha. Well, I think, hey, we talked about the synergy between a great coach and a great player, and you've got it. You've got it. And I know that Knox hoping that they catch lightning in a bottle with a great coach and a great player up there in Denver. So, it could happen. We don't know. It's left to be seen. But
I'm not overlooking the Broncos this year.
No, you can't. You can't.
No.
But
I swear to God, if I hear one Broncos player say "Dream Team," I'm gonna hate them forever.
Oh, please don't.
I
no.
just
no.
It's like a jinx now. You just
it is.
You can't say "Dream Team," and the season ends up good.
Remember when Vic was with the Eagles and they piled on all those free agents?
But it was Vince Young that said it.
Yeah,
it was Vince Young in a conference we got the dream team. He was the backup quarterback for that team. And
dumbass.
And then it was horrible.
Yeah, it's like the Madden curse, man. It's gonna get you. Okay, well, listen, guys. I think we've introduced the new season to folks, and I hope you guys enjoy the Hall of Fame weekend. I know I'll be watching the induction, especially with Zach Thomas leading it off, man. It's going to be good to see Jimmy Johnson up there. It's going to be fun to see all of these guys. I watched every one of these guys play. That's how you know I'm getting old. I watched every one of them, and the coach. I saw games with him. Kellen Winslow Sr. was his tight end in that offense too. He was something else too. But anyway, I'll sit here and start reminiscing for hours, and we can't do that. We got to get back to our lives, boys and girls. I got tickets to see Oppenheimer in IMAX today, so that's going to be
cool.
Fun to see. Yeah, I mean, it was only $5 more, so I said, "Yeah, it's Nolan. I'll shell that out to see that." So and Rhonda's already gone to get her massage. She's getting that done. She's got a facial at 2:30, and then we're going to eat. So, gonna go see Oppenheimer and have a good time. What do you guys got on tap for today?
Today?
Yeah,
I've got a paper to finish.
Oh yeah, school. Are you back in school yet, Knock? Or are you still on break?
I mean, I never go to school.
I know that. I mean, are you for the next certificate? That's what
I'm dabbling. I'm not fully like in grind mode quite yet. So
okay.
I will be here soon, though.
Cool. What about you, Matt? What's going on with you?
Yep. Nothing special.
Okay. Well, listen, guys, let me catch you up on what's going on with the channel. And don't forget, like Knox said, it's going to be, double check your calendar. You said the 1st of September?
September 1st.
It's the Sunday before the Thursday night opener, which is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs and the Detroit Lions, which I just don't understand.
Or the 5th. Excuse me. The 5th is that Thursday, is the 5th.
Yeah, that's the game. But the next time you'll see us together to talk football and get ready for the season, because it'll be a season preview edition. That'll be on the 1st of September. That's Sunday. And it's always
Sunday. I think they should have the rosters cut down to 53 by that point.
Yeah. It'll be done. That'll be a done deal by then. Yes, it'll be done. They have to have it done, I think, by the Friday of that last bunch of games or something like that. The Sunday, I think. Right? Maybe it may not be done deal yet. But anyway, you've been watching Pregame Party. We get together every week of the NFL season at 10 a.m. And that season preview show is going to be at 10 a.m. Central Time on the 1st of September. So be sure to tune in for that. And let's see. You know what? It's been so long since I set this up. I don't have all my stuff in here. Wow. Okay. Well, I can tell you this. I'm usually on Pop Culture Minefield, brought to you by KGRA Radio, tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. when we have, what are we doing tomorrow?
Lone Survivor.
Lone Survivor. It's me and Gary and some other folks getting together and talking about the military movies on Military Monday. And that's from Pop Culture Minefield and KGRA Radio at 10 a.m. Central Time.
By the way,
morning coffee with Gary.
The Lone Survivor guy, don't mess with his dog.
Don't mess with his dog. That's for sure. And then Tuesday night, I'll be doing Papa Joe Gamer After Dark, video games, cocktails, and fails. I'm playing Fable this week. I don't have the thumbnail up here right now, but I'm playing Fable this week for our girl Ariel, who's in the chat. And I also play on Wednesday nights a playthrough of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. So tune in for those at 10 p.m. Central on Tuesday and Wednesday nights. And Wednesday night early, you can catch this same crew and a few other friends that decide to pop in and out on State of the Atmosphere, where we talk about all the pop culture stuff going on, movies and stuff that we dig. Of course, it being the first Tuesday of the month, we're going to look at the slate of movie premieres we got this month. And I'm sure we're going to talk about Barbie. My God, every stream out there. I didn't think Barbie would be making this much money. It's ridiculous how much money that movie's making. Yep. That will probably creep into the conversation somewhere. And that's every Wednesday evening at 5:30 p.m. Central for a couple hours. And then Thursdays, you get to watch Mr. Dead Air, the Highlander, and myself. The brothers hack the Matrix. And the Matrix we speak of is the headlines of the previous week. We pull back the curtain on that and let you know what's really going on in the world of politics and current events. The brothers hack the Matrix every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Central Time. And then, of course, Saturdays, you can see me work on my comic book with Sketching the Privateer at 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon Central Time every Saturday. So, for this panel of rabid football fans,
real quick, Joe.
Go ahead.
I think I was looking at October, but September 3rd is the Sunday, and then September 7th is the Thursday night game.
September
3rd September 3rd is the first Sunday before the start of the.
Okay, so it's September 3rd. All right, cool.
And then the 7th is the first day.
Let's get that straight. We're going to be back together on the 3rd at 10 a.m. Central.
By the way,
and once we do that, it's going to be every week at 10 a.m. Central, every Sunday after that. Okay, go ahead, Matt.
Lord Thoth has a question for you at the bottom of the chat.
Okay, got it. Let's see, Joe. Do you take any time off? Never, man. I am enjoying this stuff so much these days that, well, I mean, you know, I've got a comic book I'm working on. You know, I enjoy doing this stuff, and yeah, I don't know how to put it. I was in manufacturing for a long time and didn't really feel like doing anything when I got home. Now I'm actually working only 3 days a week, getting a 4-hour work weekend, but I'm working 3 days a week. So I have plenty of stuff, plenty of time to pursue my passions, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it, man. When I lost my job at Libby, I said, you know what? I got less days ahead than I have behind me. I'm going to do what I love to do. So no, I don't take time off. There is not enough time in a day for me. So, and I hope you enjoy it. I really do, Lord Thoth. Let's see. Ariel says, only when he's making love to Foxy. Listen to you. Your mind, you have got a one-track mind, Ariel, but we love you. And he said, laughing at me. So listen, guys, I want to thank you for being here. And Knock, Matt, John, I'm looking forward to a great season, watching football and comparing notes with you guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait for the 3rd of September to hear everybody's picks. This could be a lot of fun, man. Because, man, let me tell you, Knock was busting me up on those picks last year.
Well, things could change between then and now.
Yeah, no doubt. That we actually thought about doing predictions today.
Yeah.
And I said, no, let's at least get the preseason out of the way and see what the injuries are. We got to know at least that before we make these predictions.
Well, because sometimes you just never know, because I think the biggest example of that is Russell Wilson. You know, Matt Flynn was supposed to be the quarterback of the Seahawks.
He was supposed to be the quarterback.
And then Russell Wilson came out.
Russell Wilson just straight up said, no, it's my job. Fuck you. I'm taking it.
And took it over.
They had no choice but to start that guy.
That's why I think preseason is still needed in some cases.
It is. It is. I told you during the show the one matchup I'm going to be looking for, Trey Lance and Purdy, because they're division rival. It matters to me who's going to be playing quarterback for that team. I'm going to be watching that, no doubt. All right, guys. Well, listen, I want you guys to stay safe. Look forward to that September 3rd show, because we're going to have a ball on that one. We have a lot of fun talking shit when we start doing fucking picks, let me tell you. And until we see you guys again, I want you guys to keep on keeping on. God bless.